I have to change that promo.
Yeah, baby. Why?
Not on 6 anymore. They don't do that hour anymore.
Oh.
Must have been way too much work or something, I suppose. I don't know what the hell that was all about. But
Do you want me to come in early and start, just giving out? I'll read stories and.
No, that's okay. We'll be okay. We'll be able
Nobody
to slog
wants
through.
that.
It'll all work out in the end. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, so they'll have to change that to 7 to 10, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they didn't in the first place. You know what? One thing I got to tell you about people that I just love is and I won't say who it is because I actually like the person a lot. There was a release yesterday about the Tom Barnard morning show, right? I've been here, 2.5 months now? Mm-hmm. My name was spelled wrong.
Was it wrong, Bernard?
Yeah. How do you do that? You're selling
lazy.
something.
It's so lazy.
It's unbelievable, though. You've seen the logo 8 billion times. I don't care you misspelled my name, but it's like, you think after looking at it for 2.5 months, you might know how to spell it.
It's so lazy.
Like I know how to spell everybody else's name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like whenever I write emails back, I just take an extra half second to see how the name is spelled.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, it's just lazy.
I
and,
don't care.
if I'm calling you lazy, we know it's bad.
Well, Jesus. Yeah, if you're pointing fingers at people about laziness, we got no shot.
Yeah, we're in big trouble.
We've got nowhere to go.
Got nowhere to go.
I will tell you last night, what a very, very pleasant night. I was out at Greenhaven Golf Course out in Anoka. Got home at about 9 o'clock last night. So, left the house yesterday at 6 a.m., got home 15 hours later.
Oh, my God.
It was a thrill. But it was well worth it, believe me. About 150, 200 people showed up for this meeting to celebrate the graduations of 3 young people.
Okay. So it was a graduation.
Well, it was more about winning scholarships and that kind of thing. All three of them got a scholarship. Jim Lundeen puts it, from Killebrew Root Beer.
Yeah.
Just a great guy, really, really nice man. But I met so many people last night, and the age group, I don't know if we can be able to, I wish we could expand our listening audience because we had a lot of listeners there. They're already listening to the podcast.
That's awesome.
It was very nice, as a matter of fact.
Did you give a speech?
Yes.
How'd it go?
It went very well. They were very accommodating and very nice.
That's awesome.
But yeah, the age group was from 18 to 102 years old.
Well, we already got an email about it.
Oh, did we really?
Yeah. Rick wrote in.
Wait a minute, what's that face? She's like, we got an email.
We got an email. You're in big trouble, sir. We have some people on the inside
I'm
messaging
used to
us.
it.
It says, Rick said, Hi, Tom. I met you at the A-Club meeting last night. I'm the crook who worked as a paramedic for 43 years in the Twin Cities.
Oh, God.
It was a pleasure to meet you. You've made me laugh while driving many times. Thanks for coming to our gathering.
That was see how nice they are.
Super sweet.
See, you can hang around with radio people who are all assholes, or you can go out and meet nice people. You see what I'm saying?
I do both. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we're all doing that now. But no, it was a great get. First of all, Greenhaven's beautiful. I love that. It's a great golf course, great building, the whole deal. 3 young people, all 3 of them 18 years old, won awards for excellence in academics, which is a great thing. I got to meet all of them. It's so funny because we joked around a little bit, had a great time. Literally, you could not meet a nicer group of people than they were there last night. And the man who's 102 years old, he's 102, and I was told, one great thing. He's got a walker, right? And I asked if I could borrow his walker, and he goes, I don't think I could do that.
Get your own, kid.
Yeah, get your own walker, pal. 102 years old, he drove home. I love that. The guy drives at 102 years
Dang.
old.
Was he driving a Model A?
I did not see what he was driving, but yeah, it was pretty amazing. But the amazing thing about that whole deal is not one asshole. Everybody there was very pleasant, very nice. Lots of listeners to the show already. They're talking about this, that, and the other thing about, so I know they were listening because they were talking about stuff that appeared on the show. A bunch of people, we sat and showed them how to get the app, so they're going to be listening now. It's terrific. It was a really, really nice night. And Greenhaven did a great job. They had a little dinner. A little chicken. Now you're talking.
Tommy like.
Couple of good speeches, but it was afterward we did a meet and greet kind of thing.
Yeah.
Went for about 45 minutes to an hour. Only like one a-hole, and it wasn't really an a-hole. It's trying to be a smart ass, and it wasn't funny.
And I would write that off as social anxiety.
I think you're right.
I think a lot of times that happens where we go, why was that guy a jerk? And I was like, oh my gosh, she was probably just anxious about the whole sitch.
I think you're probably right about that.
Or trying to think this is going to make an impression or whatever. But yeah, that's so awesome. It sounds like it was an epic night.
But I gave my favorite line that I always give to people.
What'd you do?
If you're trying to be funny, you're not funny. But it's true.
Usually,
anybody that's trying to be funny is never funny.
I've seen you use that line on many people, and it is very disarming. I think things...
Well, it's true.
And it usually changes the tone quite a bit in a good way.
Look, if you're going to do that, sit at home and try to write material and look it over yourself and go, is this funny?
Yeah.
Actually, don't do that. There's enough of us out there that already do that.
Sit at home and look through their stuff?
Yes. Stop. You're right. Just please stop. I had to deal with... I saw a guy the other day on stage look at a woman and go, wow, you're 35? You look good. I was like, you dick.
Oh. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Speaking of last night, Tom, Brittany, I just sent you a bunch of photos from the event last night.
Oh, really? You sent a bunch over?
Yeah, so if you want to get it...
that was Pat, wasn't it?
Yeah. So if you get a second,
they're
we'll get those
great.
posted. Yeah.
I'll post them all. Next break we have, I'll post them.
I got to say one more thing before we move on, but that one guy and he wasn't an asshole about it. He was just kind of trying to be cocky or, smart ass kind of deal. He said, yeah, I have not listened to your show. I've never listened to your show. I listened to blah, blah, blah. I've never even heard of that morning show. So I don't even know who the hell he was talking about. Apparently they're in town here somewhere. But I'm like, who's that? I never even heard of them.
I'll tell you this, and this has happened to me a million times, and I don't mind, but it's always awkward for the person. They'll say, oh, you do radio? Yeah. I don't listen to that. And I go, okay. And I don't care, but then they feel very awkward. And then they feel like they need, it's just because I'm like, maybe just skip that part. And not because I care that you don't listen. It's totally fine.
Right.
But it never goes well for the conversation. It's just a very much so we can just not go there. And I'll just go, okay.
Here's what you use. Next time, here's what you use.
Oh, God,
okay,
what?
Ready? So, yeah, I don't ever listen. We have something in common because I never shop at 7-Eleven. Come on, throw that at them. See how they like that. No?
No.
Why not? There aren't any 7-Elevens around anymore, are there?
I mean...
They're gone. They're out of here, aren't they?
No, there's a few around.
Oh, are there really?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any in the mid, here, but I do know there's one in Chicago because I had to emergency stop at one for sure.
Yeah, so. I mean, here. Are there any here anymore?
I don't know if there's any 7-Elevens around. I haven't seen one in a while.
No, me either. I used to go to 7-Eleven all the time over on Minnetonka Boulevard across the street from Lincoln Dell, baby. That was my favorite 7-Eleven.
Bailey, who lives in our cul-de-sac, he works at Speedway, and he has the best stories out of everyone.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, we all sit there, and, Priscilla will have, a pre-dinner wine, and I'll have my bubble water, and we wait for Bailey to come back, and he's like, guess what happened today? And we're just, yup.
Well, see, that's a good thing. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that it was really, really nice. The place was full. There was one little room over to the left that they kept empty, and I looked over and went, "Oh yeah, that's." I told Jim Lundy to set that aside so when my fans get here, and I guess they're not here yet. I mean, the place was really, really nice. Everybody was very friendly. Couldn't say nicer things about the show, about the whole shooting match. It was a very pleasant experience.
All right, these pictures are so cute.
I have not seen any of them.
Yes, look at this one.
I haven't seen any of the pictures.
Aww.
Oh, she won a scholarship.
Yeah.
She was a sweetheart of a girl. Well, all three.
Sarah.
Who is it?
I think it says Sarah.
I think it is Sarah. Yeah.
I can just read the plaque, but yeah, how cool! What a cool event! I'm so glad you went.
I'm so glad I went too. Like I said, a 15-hour day is a little long, but
You'll make up for it today.
You think so?
I don't know. I have no idea what your schedule looks like.
I got a bunch of meetings I got to go to today, which is great. That's my job, and I don't have any problem with that. But it's just so nice to be around a bunch of people, and some people I had met before, some people I had never met, but across the board. like I said, the one guy was just trying to be funny. He wasn't being an a-hole. He was just trying to be
No.
funny, and it just wasn't funny.
It's fine. And the thing is, I've been there. I've said something where I go, oh, this did not go what I thought it was going to go in my head.
Yeah,
You know?
that happens.
But it's fine.
No, I was very happy with the whole thing. It could not have gone better. Jim did a great job hosting it. The people could not have been nicer. Like I said, teasing the man with the walker. He said, "Give me that walker." "No, I need it. I can't give it to you. I need it." Like, give it to me. Let's
Come
go.
on.
Come on, let's go. I got to walk out to the parking lot.
I'll give you a deposit. I'll give you my wallet. I'll be back.
What the hell is wrong with you today? You sent me 2 stories, both about alligators.
I know, there was a lot of
What
alligators.
is wrong with you?
They are on the hunt.
I know, for alligator news.
I know.
Oh, do you really think they're on the hunt? Do you think there's something going on?
I don't know, but I found 2 stories, and that's enough for me to build a conspiracy around.
Well, I suppose. Now we got a conspiracy. Now we're talking. So that's good. Oh, Jesus. Guy on a bike hits a bear. That can't have worked out too well, I wouldn't think.
Like, why is that a big fear of mine when I'm biking? Just
To
like,
hit a bear?
Yeah, just like, or a deer or something jumping out of the woods, especially like Theodore Wirth when you're a bunch around forest.
Right.
Just the idea of it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the city now, it's like National Geographic in the city now. Everywhere
Yeah.
you go, there's turkeys, foxes,
Oh, yeah.
deer. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
They had that bear in North Minneapolis they had to take down in the park the other day.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had a guy in northern Minnesota hit a moose on a snowmobile,
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, dang.
and he didn't see it because its hind legs were on one side of the trail and its front legs were on the other side of the trail.
Oh, God.
And he hit it under like the belly side. He was
Right.
on a snowmobile and he was kind of crouched down and he was
he was
cooking.
clotheslined by a moose.
Clotheslined by a moose, yeah.
And
And he lived, you know. I mean, he flew off the snowmobile. The moose took off. He flies off. He rolls backwards. Snowmobile crashes into the woods. Huge chunk of fur stuck right on the top of his helmet. But yeah, oh yeah.
could you imagine what the moose thought happened too? Like
Oh yeah, just sitting there enjoying, you know, itself in the middle of winter, and then pow!
a punch to like I'm guessing moose kidney. I don't know.
It probably just thought like, oh, is that a fly? I'm sorry.
Get off of me.
Get off me.
Catherine and I were up near Banff many, many years ago. And we're driving along, and the ditches along the side of the road are probably about 4 to 5 feet deep, something like that. And as we're driving along, she's driving. And I look ahead, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Right? Well, apparently a moose had gotten hit by a semi-truck
Oh.
and was upside down in a ditch. Its legs were sticking about 4 feet above the ditch. That thing must have been 8, 9 feet tall.
That is.
How tall do they get?
I don't know.
I mean,
They
it's
are
gotta be at least 8
so
feet.
awkward looking. When you see a moose in the wild, you just go, that has to smell. And I love.
Yeah, I suppose.
I love. I've seen probably 2 moose ever in the wild, because my dad lives in Montana. We'd go there
Right.
once a year, and they are massive, and they just have. I'd always see them in the summer because that's when we'd go out there, and it was like chunks of molting fur kind of hanging on for its life.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It just looked, ugh.
So a moose at the shoulders usually average tops out an adult moose is about 7 feet.
And that's the shoulder.
The shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
So their legs are probably like, 5 feet at least.
Probably. Yeah, that's
Holy
amazing.
buckets.
I'm telling you, you could see that thing was all 4 of its legs were sticking straight up. I'm like, what the hell is that?
That's just a different kind of roadkill.
Oh,
Like,
you got that right.
we are so used to deer, but a moose is quite substantial.
Okay, now here's some really bad news. More for the person than for the bear. Talk about bad news. Oh, why do they do this to me?
Bad news bears.
Talk about bad news bears.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so clever.
Clever.
A Canadian man T-boned a black bear while biking through a conservation reserve, suffering a fractured scapula, cardiac confusion, and bruised ribs, among other injuries. Kevin Milner, God, I wish it was that prick that worked for Cumulus. That'd have been better if that Milner had hit the bear, don't you think? What an asshole. Kevin Milner, 30, of North Vancouver, British Columbia, was rounding a corner and heading down a hill in the Lower Seymour Conservation Reserve on Tuesday when he spotted the bear, tried to cruise around him. Yeah, I would have stopped and tried to cruise away from him.
Yeah,
is what
Yeah,
I would have
absolutely.
Same.
Yeah.
No, thank you. The second I made a decision, he decided to run, and he ran right across the road, right in front of me, and I smashed into him right behind his shoulder blade. Jesus, how terrifying is that? He said, I did a flip over the bear, pretty much kissed the bear, and then I guess I flew in the air.
It's a weird explanation. I mean, a description.
Yeah, I don't think he means that kind of... Oh, he broke his left arm. Jesus. He looks pretty happy for a guy with a broken arm that hit a bear.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, we got a little bit of audio of the guy.
You
if
do?
you want to hear him.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he sounds pretty good.
I always thought, like, maybe one day I'd hit a deer, right? Never thought it'd be a bear. He starts running across the road, and I just smacked right into him, and then went flying right over top of him. He's kind of looking over at us. He's sniffing at the air. He's just kind of curious. And then Sam started yelling at the bear, just trying to scare him off.
I love it when people do that. I was looking at him, and he kind of sniffed. So you had to do the sniff sound effect, did you? I love that.
I kind of do, too. It really lays out imagery well.
Yeah, I was playing basketball the other day. I hit a swish,
It was unbelievable.
I love that.
Milner landed hard on his side while the bear took off through the woods. Passing cyclists immediately stopped and helped him. 2 women cyclists concerned about his condition rode toward the edge of the reserve to get enough of cell reception to call 911. See, I got to be honest with you, I would never bike somewhere where you couldn't get cell reception. It's not a good idea, man. And the mountains, I'm assuming, is the problem here. But biking up and down mountains is a lot of fun. There's no doubt about it. A third bystander who had been riding an e-bike stayed with Milner, but the next arrival wasn't an ambulance or EMS. It was the same bear Milner had just plowed into. See, it came back. I'm telling you. You don't go past the bear. You turn around and go the other way. Don't ever do that. Oh, God, does he have a contusion? Eek. That looked like it hurt.
Bear had a taste for blood.
Apparently.
Yeah, a lot of white stuff on its nose as well.
A little blood, a little cocaine. That's what you're saying? Mm-hmm. He was like, oh, shit, dude, he's back. The bear's back. Milner said of remarks from the man keeping him company while help was on the way. Man, those bears are built like a truck, Milner. Yeah, bears are built like a truck.
Yeah.
Milner told the news outlet, I thought I was going to die. The bear, however, seemed unfazed by the bystanders tending to Milner. So he was standing there watching them tend to Milner.
He's a serial killer. He is.
I love
And this
bears.
is his first taste of blood, and he was sitting there watching it going, yeah, I did that.
But don't you love bears?
I love bears. And he's lucky this is a black bear, because if it was a grizzly or something,
Oh, God.
you just don't know what it would have done. Black bears are not out there trying to hurt people.
No, that's true.
The only thing you have
Very
to watch
true.
out with a black bear is if they have cubs, to not get in between the cubs and the
Oh, yeah.
mama. But otherwise, black bears are pretty chill.
That's what I hear. By the way, I should point this out. Air quality alert for most of southern Minnesota until 8 p.m. today, including the metro area, not due to wildfire smoke, but rather ozone from stagnant air. What is that now?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. They're not going to start this now, are they? It's time for the ozone report. It used to be called the weather.
Uh-huh.
What do they mean? An ozone from stagnant air? What the hell? I don't even know what that means.
No idea. We should get Ken Barlow on the blower quick and be like, what did you mean by this in your weather report today, sir? Because none of us know.
See, so he would be KB the third. It'd be Catherine Brandt 1, Kristyn Burtt 2, and Ken Barlow 3. KB 1, 2, and 3. Huh?
I think he would like being the third. Three's.
I've only met him a couple times. He's a very pleasant guy, though, isn't he?
Oh, he's so nice.
That's what I hear. Okay, so here is the weather. Mostly sunny and warm today with a high of 85. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 58. Much cooler and breezier tomorrow. Partly sunny with much cooler. It's still going to be near 70, so who cares?
It's so good.
70 works for me. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 71, and Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 77. The weather looks really, really good. That one little thing they're talking, who the hell even knows what they're talking about? But it is sunny and 60 right now, but it's going to be 85 later on today. We'll take a break, be right back in a couple minutes. The news continues right after this. As you know, my friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their lives. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule yesterday. Mike found the world's best cotton. It's called Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Giza Dream sheets come in a variety of sizes and colors. Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you'll receive 50% off the Giza Dream sheets. You'll receive a set for as low as $29.98. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square, and use promo code TOM. There you'll find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the MyPillow 2.0 mattress topper, MyPillow towel sets, and so much more. It's great stuff, Kath, and I love it. Call 800-516-5146, use the promo code TOM, or go to MyPillow.com. Make sure you use the promo code TOM.
Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. If you've been hurt in a car collision, it's traumatic enough. You don't need to waste time and energy on the legal stuff. Think of us as a partner who will guide you through the process. First off, you need to recover, but part of that is getting the compensation you deserve. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we'll work hard so you can get the rest you need during the trying months after a personal injury. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we understand how important it is to make our clients comfortable, so we build each client relationship on the pillars of honesty and transparency. Don't miss out on what's rightfully yours. We'll go to bat for you. For your free case consultation, please visit MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. I'm Mike Bryan, and I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to Bradshaw and Bryant.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Hey folks, Judd Zulgad here, and you know the unofficial start of summer is just 2 weeks away. You could lose up to 10 pounds by Memorial Day with Livia's doctor-recommended program. Look and feel your best with the weight loss program voted #1 in Minnesota. Receive personalized and guided support from Livia's team of experts. Join today and receive 3 months free. What are you waiting for? Get summer ready with Livia. Call today, 855-GO-LIVIA, or visit Livia.com. You know, I lost 40 pounds more than a year ago now with the help of my friends from Livia, and here's the most important thing. Their nutritionists and dietitians also help you keep the weight off. We've all lost weight before. The question is, can you keep the weight off? And with Livia, their program, the answer is most definitely. Start your success today and get summer ready. Call 855-GO-LIVIA or visit Livia.com. That's Livea.com. Join now and receive 3 months free. That's right. Call now, 855-GO-LIVIA, or visit Livia.com and receive 3 months free. Come to Livia to experience life-changing weight loss.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Corey Wisco of the Wellshire.
It's difficult to put in words the relationship that we have with North American Banking Company. You know, they've been there from the very beginning with our vision of providing quality dementia care for individuals, and they've been a partner all the way through. They really are there for us.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I got to check one thing here. Now, where do they make up the schedule for the day? Where do they do that?
They usually make it up back at the old HQ.
Okay, and that's usually Amy?
Usually. She's out this week.
Okay, but there's actually somebody worse than Amy at this job? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Because Kristyn Burtt's not on at 7:20, I'm assuming. Unless she had to move today.
Oh, you know what? I did change that. I changed it to 7:35. I didn't print the right one. So actually, there is somebody worse than Amy. It's me.
Nobody does their job around here. That's what we're saying.
No, nobody does their job.
So nobody does their job around. That's a really nice
I don't even know.
Situation to be in.
Like what?
Yeah. No, I printed off. I changed it, but then
for yourself. But,
no, I still have 7:20.
No, don't worry about us.
Actually, you know what? Kristyn is actually supposed to be on at 7:20. She's not on yet. This is her fault. I forgot to tell you guys.
Oh, that's
she
what it was.
wanted to change it to 7:20.
That sounds like her.
And that is 1,000% her. Yes.
Yes,
So,
I agree. We'll
thought you were
attack
saying-
her.
These goddamn Hollywood types all the time. Jesus.
1,000%. I thought you were going to follow that up with 1,000% a lie. That's what you were going to go with, but you decided. So she's at 7:35.
She is 7:35.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, but I still can't believe there's somebody worse at that job than Amy Daniels. How is it possible?
It's me. That's we just
Well,
figured
so it
that
would
out.
be you.
It would be me. No,
but you didn't print that out in the first place.
No, I did have to print this out because
He makes those every
yeah,
day.
because we lost it at the other day because I had a little bit of a computer mishap, so I had to rebuild it. And when I rebuilt it, I have to go in and manually change things from like 7:15 to 7:17 to 7:20 to 7:35.
There you go.
And yeah, so I botched it. That's my fault.
God damn it.
I know. I wish.
I'm going home.
So glad I'm at an age where I don't care.
I wish you would, though. That'd be kind of great.
I know. Here's the thing, though. Like I've told you guys, I totally get 1,000% why it is that they brought me on. It is because I kick ass at videos and graphics. I am the worst speller on the planet, and I hate. I try. And here's the thing. I
can't blame that on spelling.
I try so hard. I double check everything, and it still comes out wrong. That's the part that drives me nuts. Is that I try so hard to get it right.
It's
and
hard.
My brain does not do it. It doesn't. It for whatever reason, it just doesn't pick it up.
When you were out of town for Disney, I did the schedule for a week, and there it is. It took me about 30 minutes to sit and look at it, and even then I think I still screwed it up because it switches constantly. It's always pivoting. It's hard.
Do you think it's the possibility that all, I guess, what age group are you in again? Does that be, you're not a millennial, you would be a what?
I'm a millennial.
Oh, you would be still at 30 years, what are you, 32?
I'm 37 today.
Oh, you're 30. Oh, that's right, it's your birthday today. You and Herbeck was 2 days ago.
He was Sunday, yeah. He's also, and then we got Fawny and Go-Go.
Fawny's Friday, Go-Go.
And Britt, I got you a happy birthday $50 gift card.
There you go.
For Visa. So happy birthday.
Did you really?
No, I found it on the ground outside.
There's a shot.
But I love it. I'll put it on my board. I love it.
I have to call it in lost to Visa before you can have it, but then you can have it for the board. Yeah,
I understand. I assumed it was used. That's why I said it could go on my board. But if it's not, we can go live it up.
I got to ask you a question. So the millennial thing.
Yeah, I'm a millennial.
You do know that millennials in general don't pay attention with a lot of detail. You do know your generation does do
I don't
that.
think we're set. Well, okay, first off, that's a broad, sweeping statement.
Well, it is a very broad because it's true.
But I also think we're not set up to do just one thing. Like we're inundated constantly with different items, phones, computers, all these things. We're expected to multitask on a level that maybe you didn't have to. Like you got to pick.
Well, I still have to now.
You got to pick a career and go with it. As a millennial, I feel like we do not get that luxury.
What are you talking about? Why not? Go do what you want to do.
Because where's my pension, bro?
You got to work to earn a pension.
I'm just saying, there's not a lot of opportunity. There's not a lot of opportunities for just a basic upward growth.
Why not? That's
there just
weird.
isn't. That's fine. I like pivoting. I have no problem with pivoting. But if you're one of those people, like my husband, he's like, this is the track I'm on. I want a 10-year plan, and this is here, and he does that. That's not always an opportunity for millennials. They have to pivot.
Like, what do you mean pivot? How do you pivot?
Switching jobs, switching careers. Some people got into graphic.
I just did that. I'm not a millennial.
Yeah, well, you didn't really. You kind of did, and you didn't have to.
No, I didn't have to because I could have told them to blow it out their ass, which I probably should have.
You could have been on a sailboat in Key West, being
just
a parrot
hanging
head.
out, being a parrot head. Yeah, I'd be a great parrot head. There's no doubt about that. So, good. I'm trying to get an understanding here because, as you know, millennials have a reputation for not wanting to work very hard.
Yeah.
You do know that.
I always lean into it because I know that that's the reputation, but I work my... I just like to, why not lean into it? I mean, I was in the military. Yeah. It's funny. It's always been my narrative.
So you think then it's not that the fact that millennials don't want to work, it's just there's too much going on.
That's 1,000% accurate right there.
Like what? I mean, what gets in the way?
I really feel like there is like this immense pressure for people in their upper 30s and low 40s right now to be able to be good at everything. And when they say, like, if you have more than 3 priorities, you have no priorities.
Right.
The number one piece of advice I could ever give anyone who ever wants to get into entertainment is figure out one thing and be good at it. Because more than likely, you're not going to be a Hugh Jackman. You're not going to be a guy who can sing and dance and act and direct and produce. Find one thing that you really love to do and then do it. Where most of us nowadays, and especially radio people, I mean, for how many cutbacks there are, you are the production manager, you're the program director, you're the on-air talent, you're doing all of these things, so you don't really have a lot of time to, really go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. You just have to be able to get stuff done, and that is what radio has done to itself so many times now in the last how many years, where instead of just finding one promotions director and one music director and one program director, one person does all 3 of those jobs, and then none of those jobs get done correctly.
Yeah.
And whose fault is that? Right? Hedge funds. Hedge funds are destroying the world, and you can thank George Soros for that.
Sure.
It's destroying the world. They take all the money, shove all the stuff on you and me and everybody else, and that's just the way it is now.
I think it's that, and I also think it's technology has the ability to not the jobs that you see. Used to be overnights at every station, and now it's rare you have a human being in a building.
They don't want to spend the money.
No, and so it's if technology can do it, and they can, what is it? What's the pre-recording called?
Voice tracking.
Thank you. If you can voice track and have somebody do it for $10 an hour while doing their on-air shift, that's way more reasonable than paying a person to be there.
Look, I have a lot of friends still in the business.
Yeah.
I'm not in the radio business anymore. I keep trying to tell them this is not a radio show.
No.
It's a digital show. But I tell you, I have a lot of people, and I feel really bad for them because I will tell you, I've never seen radio. Radio is teetering.
Yeah.
It's got major, major problems, and it makes me really sad.
I don't even advise people when young people come up to me and they'll say, "How do I get in the industry?" And I'll say, "Make sure you have another job." Because I feel nervous about telling them to go into radio because I've been really lucky. I have my health insurance from the Army, and if I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to keep staying in radio.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad, huh?
I never made an actual salary until probably, something worth feeling like I could contribute to my household to until probably 3 years ago.
Is that how it is in all business with people your age now?
I was just going to say the mortgage industry is probably one of the ones that got hit the hardest because Wells Fargo laid off hundreds of people, and they basically told everyone in the building, by the way, you guys are going to have to, pick up their slack until we figure out what the reconstruction, what the new structure is going to look like. And everyone thought, I'll just do this job for 6 weeks, and then they'll bring somebody else in, and we'll delegate new responsibilities. And that never happened, and the people that were doing all the extra work never got a raise. So
I know.
Yeah.
And that's all hedge funds. That's the thinking now is I get all the money and you get nothing.
Yeah, it's the kind of scraping from things that don't even have anything to give. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they just take all the money that comes in. Look, once again, I'm not going to go, because I have friends that work at every one of these outfits. A combined total, and Hubbard is in the positive here. It's the only outfit that is in the positive dollar figures, so we're covered, thank God. But you add up the debt of the other radio stations in this market, it's right around $25 to $30 billion. You tell me how that's going to survive. There's no way. It can't. No. It's over. And it's all because of hedge funds. All it's me, more me now. I get all the money. You work your ass off. Don't vomit while I'm talking.
I have a button now, so don't acknowledge me when I cough.
But, and I'll tie this into last night again.
Yeah.
People are moving to podcasts now. They're moving to digital now. All they got to do is get in their car, hit the little button that says asshole on it. Or no, it says Barnard. That's what same thing.
Interchangeable.
It's a much better industry. We're lucky to work for them. And I'm not kissing the Hubbard's ass. I don't kiss ass. I just don't do that. But they do a great job.
And again, I know I sound like I'm complaining.
It's all you ever do.
In my life, I've been so lucky, and I actually like the ability to do about 5 different jobs. During the pandemic, I started going back to school for nursing. I've been able to do a lot of different things, and my brain likes that. I just know there are other people that want that more traditional path, and they struggle. And they, I think it's just, I feel very lucky to be where I'm at, but I definitely know that that's not how everybody feels. Some people like that stability.
Well, yeah, I'm not wild about you being here, but other than, that's not what you meant?
On my birthday?
On my birthday, he's attacking me. So what'd you say, you're 11? How old are you?
37.
37. Are you really?
Isn't that crazy?
I've known you since you were, 21?
No, you met me when I was 20.
20.
Because I wanted to lie and go to Vegas trip so bad.
17 years of anguish. Mm-hmm. Why me?
I might have been even 19. No, I think I was 20.
I thought you were 19, remember?
Because I might have started at KQ when I was 19, but I wanted to go to Vegas so bad. They're like, you have to be 21. And I kept going, I have a fake. I said, quit telling us that.
You know what my favorite thing about it is, and they're both on this show, so I'm going to attack both of them. It's going to be wonderful. The first time Gelfand ever saw you, it's like, oh no.
I love Gelfand.
Yeah, he hangs around you like a goddamn mockingbird. Oh, Brittany, 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 Brittany. It's like, would you settle down, Gelfand, you pill?
It's so funny because I talk on the phone all the time to Bob Sansevier and
Sandy.
Gelfand.
Yeah.
And my husband will give me that look, and he'll know. He'll just lean in a little bit, hear their voices, and knows that, like, first off, if I get off the phone with Gelfand, I'm going to think I have 14 diseases.
Oh, well.
You know, I'll say, no, because he'll go, oh, yeah, well, if your elbow creaks, you definitely have, you know, pre-arthritis. And I'll go, oh, God, I have pre-arthritis.
You just made me think of Fred Mertz on the I Love Lucy show. And we can bring Kristyn Burtt in at this KB2. Now, there's now KB 1, 2, and 3. We got Catherine Brandt, 1, Kristyn Burtt, 2, and Ken Barlow, our weather guy, 3. So there's 3 KBs now.
That's a lot of KBs in your life.
It's a lot of KBs, way too many, as a matter of fact. So we were just talking about, I suppose in your life you've had a lot of guys like buzzing around you and trying to attract your attention and all that stuff. You've been through that, I would imagine.
It happens
It does
occasionally in
happen.
Hollywood.
Fred Mertz goes to see Lucy and Desi at their apartment, and Ethel, of course, is with them. And they're standing around talking about attractive people. And Ethel Mertz says, all I know is, when I was a young woman, the men were buzzing around me like bees. And Fred, her husband, says, well, then how come I'm the one that got stung? I love that line. Fred Mertz was one of the great characters of all time. No doubt about it. So now we found out that both you and Brittany have guys hanging around you all the time, being a pain in the ass.
All the time?
That's what
You're the number one guy who's a pain in my ass.
I am.
You are go-go, or you've got 2 people in my life that are constantly, I go, how am I going to react to this?
Does she pay you?
Not that I know of.
Okay, well then get me off that list right now, sister.
Just because you pay me doesn't
Leave
mean
me
you're less
alone.
of a pain of an ass.
I try to be a massive pain in the ass if I possibly can.
Well,
I'm really
mission
good at it.
accomplished.
Yeah, maybe you could learn something.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, there you go. KB2, how are you?
I'm doing great, and I have to ask Britt how her night was while she watched the Randall scandal.
That was wild. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I started it late, but yeah. Or do we just hate Randall? I hate how much I've always loved Lala, even when she was a quote-unquote mistress. I didn't even mind that.
Can we do this in English?
I don't know how.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know how to break it down.
I can break this down really easily.
Thank
so
you.
Randall Emmett is an Los Angeles Hollywood producer.
Okay.
He is associated with Vanderpump Rules because he dates.
Oh,
one
we're
of the
back to
cast
that
members.
every day now.
Well,
huh?
I can. However, this is focused on him, and I think originally this was a story that came out of the LA Times last July, and it created huge buzz here in the Los Angeles area because I don't think a lot of people realize his background. He started as Mark Wahlberg's assistant back in the day, and is supposedly the inspiration for Turtle on Entourage. Kind of like a stocky guy, not
Right.
the most attractive, although I think Jerry Ferrara was cute in Entourage. But and so he kind of like lived off and thrived off of that. He got a taste of success early on in his career, and eventually teamed up with this investment guy, and they were able to create this huge production company making movies that were called geezer teasers. And if you know exactly what I'm
God.
talking about,
Yeah, right.
it's older action stars
Right. Yep.
that go and work for 3 days and make $10 million. But he was essentially doing what Bernie Madoff does with like pyramid schemes and pulling money here and paying off this one and financing his lifestyle. And of course, he didn't have the foundation for all of it. And he basically screwed over so many people in Hollywood. But
This
this
is a
ties
real
into-
guy?
Yeah.
Really? So how is he still
Unbelievable.
alive?
Still alive and has so many lawsuits going on right now. And I think the saddest part, and I don't know if you got to this part, Brittany, is that he ties into the Bruce Willis story. And, we know that Bruce Willis was diagnosed with aphasia. Now he also has frontotemporal dementia as well. But Bruce Willis was out there doing a lot of Randall Emmett's films. And obviously struggling with memory issues and working and not knowing where he was, like not even knowing he was on set. Like there was a waitress, or an actress portraying a waitress, like pouring his coffee, and he'd be like, "No, I don't want any more." And she's like, "No, this is for the scene." Like he wouldn't even know he was in the scene of a movie and on set.
So how do you get this? It just happens to you? That's sad.
It's just like anything, like Parkinson's, like Alzheimer's. You know, they don't necessarily know what's causing it for each individual person. They have some guesses, but you just don't know. And
It's so
it's
sad.
probably something. It's probably like CTE, where you have to have like your brain examined after you pass away.
Yeah.
But I think what's really sad, and I think it raises a lot of questions of like, why was Bruce Willis allowed to work as long as he was?
Yeah.
Randall was abusive to him, both verbally and emotionally on set, which is heartbreaking. So it's a really good documentary, really good insight into what happens in Hollywood, because Randall Emmett is just one of many producers who are like this. And but I think it really gives you an idea of, like, especially when it pulls into reality television, he probably wouldn't have been caught had he not started on Vanderpump Rules with his then fiance.
So him wanting to be famous burned him.
Yes.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
It's never enough, is it? It's never enough.
It's never enough. It's never enough. And he loved being able to go on, talk shows and do a podcast, and he loved the fame. And there's a great story, and I won't ruin it. People should go and watch it. It's the Randall Scandal on Hulu. But he has this big fight over money with 50 Cent. And 50 Cent like calls him out, and it's a hilarious exchange.
Yeah, I don't understand why people. What did you kind of set a goal in your life? I want to reach this point, and then once you get there, you go, okay, I'm good, everything's fine. Some people just can't. They can never let it go. It's got to be more, and it causes them to use really bad judgment and bad behavior.
Well, I think in Hollywood too. Everyone always wants to get there. And I always say in Hollywood, there's no there. So like when you get to the level you think you are, you realize that there's another level, like another elite level. And you're like, oh, I want to get into that circle. I want to sit at that table.
Right.
And you can never get there. I always joke, I'm like, does George Clooney, who literally seems to have it all on paper, does he feel like he's there? I don't know.
Yeah. What a business that is. Oh, I got to ask you one question before we move on. I've never seen Entourage. Should I watch it?
Okay.
I've never seen it. Really good.
I've rewatched it in, probably within the last 3 years. It seems very dated in many ways.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very misogynistic. But I think it gives you a really good insight into what Hollywood was like in the early aughts when it was on TV.
Sure.
And for anyone who wants to understand what it was like during like the Britney, Paris era with the paparazzi and everything from a male perspective, it's a great show for that.
Tom, you're going to hate it.
You know why I didn't watch it?
Huh.
Because I cannot stand Jeremy Piven.
I was going to say.
Oh, I hate that little prick.
I remember at the time thinking it was good and enjoying it. And I've seen little clips of it later, and it's fine. It's a great, they create a fun world, right? Like this big fake Hollywood world. Mm-hmm. You would hate it. It's everything you hate about the
Hollywood?
industry, about people.
Yeah.
You would literally, because you don't want to watch men, use women and no, you would hate it.
I have a daughter and a wife.
I'm telling you guys right now, he would hate it.
It's crazy. And it's based off of Mark Wahlberg's life, so it gives you more insight into who Mark Wahlberg is in his early parts of his career. It's fascinating.
I got to tell you, Jeremy Piven used to come in the studio all the time. Like once a year, he'd come in the studio when I was at the Q, okay? And he was never friendly. He was never pleasant, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And one time he walks in the studio, and he's sitting in Studio B, and he's got somebody with him, and I don't know who. He never did introduce the guy, didn't introduce him to me, anybody, right? Okay. So the show starts, and I try to include, like Christoph was in studio, and his wife was going to sit out in the lobby. No, you can come in too, sit in here, it's fine. I got no problem with that. So I started talking to the guy on the air about what he was all about and what he was doing with Jeremy Piven and all the rest of it. All of a sudden, Piven goes, "Hey." I go, "Yeah, what?" He goes, "You're supposed to be talking to me, not him." I said, "Shut up." And from that point on, we didn't get along too well. This guy's bitching at me about how to run a radio show. Why don't you go steal some more money and end up ruining your life, you dumb bastard?
My friend, my high school friend, actually produced the show that he starred in, and then he claimed he got mercury poisoning.
Yes.
From sushi. And I believe it was Alan Cumming who came in and saved the day, but they almost lost millions of dollars on that Broadway production. He's not a fan. I mean, and also Jeremy Piven's known as the Pivot because he was always
The Pivot. I like that.
Pivot.
That works for me.
Because I had a friend who dated him, and I was like, literally, I'm like, you know the reputation. Why are you dating him?
Why?
And I mean, every story that we know is pretty much true.
So he's done now. What did he do on that lady? He did something that pissed everybody off. He's never going to work again.
He's had a lot of sexual harassment allegations. Yeah. And that sort of came out during the Me Too era. And you know what? I don't think anyone defended him because literally that was an open secret in Hollywood. Like, you don't date the Pivot.
Well, see, that's why, to tell you the truth, Rudy and I had to do this. We finally went to management and said, look, Brittany has to wear bright colors so we know she's coming. So that's, I don't know if you can see her.
Why? Because you guys got slayed by her RBF?
That's exactly what it was. 100% correct. There's no question about it. Yeah, I just never understood, first of all, the attraction of Jeremy Piven. So, but he was part of that entourage deal, right?
He was. He played the agent, which was based off of Ari Emanuel,
right.
who's one of the most powerful agents in Hollywood. But honestly, he was great in the role. I mean, he won several Emmys off
He's
of it.
a talented guy.
So talented. So I mean, even if you go back to his career as a teen, he's doing great work. And but he just was one of those situations where he just got way too big. But Entourage, those guys were like ruling the day when that show was popular. So
Should I go back, or is it too old?
I think it looks dated now. When I went back and watched it, and as Britt said, you're probably going to hate the misogyny. So, but I enjoyed it for what it was during its time.
Yeah.
I have a mother, 2 sisters, a wife and a daughter, and a granddaughter. Why would I need misogyny?
Well, I don't need misogyny either, but it is entertaining. To me, it's an entertaining view of Hollywood because you see it all the time, and to see it played out on screen sometimes is really funny.
Yeah.
But I live here.
There's just so many things to watch. I don't think that's ever going to be on your list.
So just don't even bother.
I think Entourage and you just should never meet. That's my
Works
opinion.
for me. It's fine. I like I said, as soon as I saw that prick was on it, I said, I'm not watching that.
Yeah, you're going to be out.
And
you're not even going to make it through one episode.
Yeah, he's a very main character.
Oh, goodbye.
So,
then forget it. Did you ever work with him?
And I can't get you to finish anything, so it's like I'd be like, you can't even get past 2 minutes of the show.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about?
I don't know what you mean by all.
I know. I only watched an episode and I didn't like it.
Ted Lasso, boy, that was interesting. Soccer in Europe. Who gives a rat's
loving
ass?
Ted Lasso right now.
I thought it was terrible.
I'm having so much fun with Ted Lasso. We're doing Ted Lasso, Succession, and Last of Us, depending on what mood we're in, and it's just so good.
Succession's really good.
What season are you on with Ted Lasso?
That's current, but we are probably a couple episodes behind because
I was just gonna say I didn't think season 3 so far has been like the best compared to season 1 and 2.
This is true. Well, I didn't love season 2, but season 3, we've had some good moments where you get the goosebumpies and you go, okay, I enjoyed that. So I've loved it.
I have to ask you a question. Isn't it a pain in the ass that you have some people? There are all these great shows on, and they don't watch any of them because they waste their time on like raising a child. I mean, what are you doing over there?
I know. That's why I was like, I watched a little bit of the Randall show, but yeah.
Exactly.
I know. She's really put a wrench in my plans of watching all. I barely get my Real Housewives in. I sneak them in during naps.
Can't she put herself to bed?
I'm working on it. She'll be one on Sunday, and I think that's when they eventually just take over, right? They can just do their own stuff.
When do babies start talking? Around $1.50, something like that?
She talks, just none of it makes any sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you can understand them.
And you know what this child's been doing? I go, mama, and she goes, dad.
Does he really?
Yeah, so
she really does that.
Her and I are in a
very
big
cool.
fight. We're in a huge fight right now.
Consonant thing. Did you know that? Like kids, it's a consonant that dada's easier than mama. Sorry.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it is.
You know, Ethan's first words. Did you know his first words?
I know. Well, Andy just told me his first, or Melissa did.
What'd she say?
She said Daisy.
Oh, she says Daisy all the time because of the dog Daisy.
Yeah.
Bop, bop.
You said Bop Bop?
Ah!
Oh, that's
What do you think of that action?
That's nice.
He's my buddy.
If Gogo says Nana before she says Mama, the bitch is out. Sorry.
Well, that's kind of negative.
Send her to me. I'll take care of her.
Thank you.
That's leaning a little negative.
Oh, she
is all
knows.
I have to say. Isn't being a mom, though, just wonderful? A dad, a mom. I love being a parent.
I had so
No
much
doubt.
fun yesterday. We put together like a splash pad, and I thought it was going to be very easy.
Oh, yeah.
And I even texted Rudy. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll post this after I get inside. And then all of a sudden I saw screws in the thing, and I go, like, gear up, put on some sunblock. We're going to be out here for a while. But it was so fun because she was just in a good mood. We were outside. I built something with my hands.
There you go.
I'm loving life. In the good weather yesterday was so epic. So, yeah, I'm having
The weather
fun.
is amazing.
Yeah.
It is. The weather is unbelievable here right now. One of my favorite things in life is when, as little kids come along, and, you know, it might be a little influence here and there. I'm not really sure, but we were at Disney World, and at the time, Seiji was he had just turned 4. I think he was either still 3 or had just turned 4. And we get on one of those trains at Disney World, you know, that turn on their side and go around the track that way.
Yeah.
I'm in the he and his dad are in the front of the car. I'm in the back of the car. It takes off. The train is just smoking around the track, and it's tipping on its side. The first time it tips on its side, I hear this little 3-year-old voice, Jesus Christ! I'm like, where did you even come up with that?
Oh, I wonder where he got that.
I never say Jesus Christ.
Sounds like Pop Pop.
Yes, as good as Bob Pop. Same situation.
Ever since I started working with you again, there are things I say where I go, oh, God.
Like what?
Jesus Christ is definitely on the top.
Jesus, Palomino. That's
You're a
even better.
disaster.
You're a disaster.
You're pulling my tit.
Pulling my tit, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah, there's a lot. And I go, I got to make sure to get these out of my system before Go-Go starts copying me.
Speaking of that, though, Brittany wanted to ask you, and I got in her way. Did you see the recent picture of Jeff Bezos and his fiancée?
I did.
Is it really easy to pull her tit?
Oh, God.
What a
I
disgust!
fell right into that.
Oh my God! Have you seen the picture?
And her 20-carat diamond ring.
No, of her 20-carat jugs. She's got this fakest looking breasts ever.
Well, here's the thing. Lauren Sanchez was an LA news person when I moved here.
Oh,
so we're very familiar with her. She's always looked like this, to be honest. So, and she also, I don't know if a lot of people remember, she was the original host on So You Think You Can Dance for season 1.
Oh, she was?
Where Kat Deely took over. And, you know, now she's become sort of a tabloid figure because, of course, she and Jeff Bezos had an affair while they were both married.
Right.
Lauren was married to a high-powered agent here in Los
Oh.
Angeles.
All right, sister. Look at that. You almost got us through the first hour. How good are you at this?
Here and trying. I know
See?
someone wanted to hear about Anna Nicole and the documentary.
Sure.
We can do it on the family today.
No, it's fine.
When I come
oh,
on.
yeah. Who wanted to hear about it?
Oh, I sent her a message that we got an email about that.
Oh, okay. We could do. I mean, if you got to, I'm so far behind, it doesn't matter anyway.
Rudy wants to chime in, I think.
Well, yeah, we got nothing going on after this, so you guys want to go to break and
Yeah,
then
why
come
don't we-
back and
can
have
you do
Kristyn
that?
come back? And
Yeah, I can.
Okay,
No
let's
problem.
do that.
Perfect.
This is the Tom Bernard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Bernard Show app.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. You know, I've always said you can't count on 2 nice weekends in a row until mid-June in Minnesota. Well, once again, I'm right. What better time to lose weight like I'm doing with mnfatloss.com. The program has been great for me. I've lost 20 pounds, and I've been on the program for exactly 1 month today. I'm not feeling hungry. I am feeling a lot healthier, and I've got plenty of energy. You know me. I'm not going to count points or eat prepackaged meals. Certainly no hypnosis is going to happen. I wouldn't follow a fat loss program that isn't safe. I got to be around to do this podcast because my name's on the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm proving that you can lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a couple of months. Do yourself a favor and check out the program at mnfatloss.com. Of course, results may vary, but I'm losing weight and I do feel great. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, like I'm doing, that's about a pound of fat every day, by the way. No exercise required. Schedule your free consultation. Go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Be sure to tell them that Tom Barnard sent you.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Kristyn Burtt with us. And by the way, Kristyn Burtt and I just went back to we were both 14 years old again, looking at the camera, singing to one another, Walk This Way. It was unbelievable.
Nailed it.
We just nailed it. Kitty's back.
Kitty's back.
So which kitty is that?
The second segment.
Which kitty is that? What's that kitty's name?
Oh, this is London. She's the only one that comes in the closet with me in the mornings. Yeah.
I still love the fact you're in your clothes closet. That sounds like something I would do. No doubt about it.
I have a house full of tile and hardwood floors, so this is the quietest.
No, it's great. It does sound really, really good. No question about that.
That's all that matters.
Okay, what the hell were we talking about again? Because I just still got Walk This Way in my head.
Yes, so one of your listeners wanted to know about Anna Nicole Smith, You Don't Know Me. It is the documentary that's on Netflix. I think the important thing to know on this is that this was not approved, authorized by any of her close friends and family. So they've come out and spoken out against it. Larry Burkhead, who is raising their daughter, Danny Lynn.
Right, yeah.
She's 16 now. She's beautiful too. He's done a really good job. He moved out of Hollywood. He was a photographer in Hollywood when he found out that he officially was the father, and raised her in Kentucky, kind of out of the public eye. You see her kind of once a year at the Kentucky Derby because they always attend each and every year. Sure. But when this documentary came out for his daughter's privacy, he wiped her clean on his social media just so she didn't have to listen or see any of the comments with all of this, because it really goes through this sad, tragic life of Anna Nicole, but I would say in a more tabloid manner. And a lot of us lived through it when it was happening. And it doesn't really have the perspective of her inner circle and those who really loved her and cared about her.
You know what's amazing to me is literally everybody I knew in the business saw this coming. They literally said there is no way she's going to live very long. Everybody who had ever worked with her or knew her, they all said she's going to die young. I'm just guaranteeing it.
Yeah, she was sort of that Marilyn Monroe figure.
Yeah.
I think now, if she were still alive, I would love to hear her stories, honestly, with Hugh Hefner and the Playboy Mansion, because we've seen Hugh painted in a much different light now that he is gone. And it was very well known that she was just used and abused by men, oftentimes passed around or, drugged and things like that till she became an addict. And I think the saddest part is that 3 days after she gave birth to Danny Lynn, her oldest son, Daniel, passed away from a drug overdose.
That's right, yeah.
And then 5 months after that, Anna Nicole Smith passed away herself.
I hate to do this because it's such a sad story, but I did get a good laugh in my head thinking about passing Catherine around. Yeah, good luck to you, pal.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd go over real well.
Tommy wakes up one morning with a butcher knife in his throat, but other than that...
She wouldn't even wait until you went to sleep.
No, she wouldn't. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I've never understood that, like, seeing people as property is such a weird thing to me.
She had such a tragic, and it was so the wild, wild west of reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so we saw probably way more than we should have seen with her reality show. And it was so sad. And man, she just wanted to be loved. And I don't know. And when her son died, it was just so tragic.
Well, you could see it when she was at the MTV Movie Awards?
Oh, when she did beautiful music together.
Yeah, it was rough. And just remember, you could just, even the trim spot commercials, you could just tell.
Oh, really?
It was like completely cut, edited. It was like trim spot, baby, and then edit. It was so rough.
Well, I do remember when she did that oh, beautiful music together.
Yeah.
I was in the kitchen, and I said, Catherine, why is Brittany on TV?
Yeah, I know.
It was unbelievable. Beautiful music together.
We're on the same things, me and her.
Yeah, I bet you are, yes, no question.
I was going to say the other thing that a lot of people maybe don't remember is that the paternity case that was tried after her death, because Howard K. Stern, who was her lawyer, claimed to be the father, and of course Larry Burkhead. And Larry Burkhead, I mean, looks just like Danny Lynn, so you could clearly tell, but obviously it had to go through the court system. But that was also a circus. And, you know, a lot of people look back on Howard K. Stern and say, you know, what involvement did he have in her drug abuse? Was he constantly keeping her applied with drugs and alcohol as well?
I suppose that whole thing, that's the whole part about, you know, acting and Hollywood and the business and all that. It's so unseemly and disgusting.
Yeah, and you know, she was so celebrated for being this beautiful, curvy woman who kind of ahead of her time. I mean, if she was living in 2023, people would love her curves, you know, and at the time, she was a guest model as well. But, you know, really, especially seeing what was going on at the Playboy Mansion during that era, I really do wonder what happened there.
Was it? No, I didn't hear a lot about, what's his face again? The guy that owned Playboy. Hugh Hefner. So he was just taking advantage of everyone and everything.
There was a lot of, and I think, you know, if you look at the Bill Cosby case, there was a lot of that, you know, hey, let's give them Quaaludes and see what happens type of situation. Obviously not by the women's choice oftentimes, and being coerced into situations that they didn't appreciate, but that there were also a lot of people surrounding Hef in terms of the Playboy Mansion. You know, they wouldn't be able to get the Playboy Playmates that are in the magazine, but the ones that were in the catalog and modeling some of the lingerie, they would create their own sort of like B-list Playboy Mansion. And a lot of these women were drugged and abused, saying, you know what, hey, I can get you to that A-list, you know, Playboy Bunny level. And they were oftentimes finding themselves in situations of sexual assault, not remembering what happened. And this even goes back to the Playboy clubs too. A lot of the former waitresses were even talking about that culture was encouraged and continued all the way through the early aughts.
I don't understand. Maybe somebody can explain this to me, because I've never understood the attraction of having sex with somebody who's heavily drugged. How is that a good time?
It's a power situation.
Oh, who needs that power? Get your own power. Go lift some weights or something. I mean, become a tougher guy. I have no interest with having sex with a motionless dummy. I mean, you're basically having sex with a mannequin.
Yeah, and they were taking photos of these women. And so when Hef died, his then wife actually went and destroyed all the photos.
Good.
Yeah, she let everyone know, no, they won't see the light of day. Don't worry about it.
But I've never understood the attraction to, you'll just lay there motionless and I'll have sex with you. Oh, boy, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think it falls under that we don't understand, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, A&E did a documentary, and I want to say it's about an eight part docu-series on it from the women's perspective. Of course, the Hefner family, you said, none of this is true and everything, but it's their side of the story. So even if you come halfway in between and say, okay, he has his side, they have their side, and we meet in the middle is still horrific.
No question. And by the way, I always knew that guy was a creep, that Hugh Hefner, because he wears a skipper hat. Okay? Anybody who wears a goddamn skipper hat's got some problems.
Yeah, there were some really weird things going on in the mansion, too, and you just realized he was very set in his ways, and a lot of the women who were part of the E! series, what was that called?
Oh, Girls Next Door.
Girls Next Door, yeah, the Girls Next Door series. They talk a little bit about it and some of his unusual habits, and it's dark. It really is dark, to be honest.
Well, he was good at real estate, though, because he bought that house for like $1 million and sold it. His family sold it for, what, $110 million or something?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good
And he not
exchange.
only had his, but he had bought like the home across the street,
Right.
and the home behind him. So
Yep.
he created a really nice compound over the years.
Indeed. No, if he wasn't such a goddamn creep, it'd be much better. What a creep. Ugh.
I know.
I know, and he
dead
was
now,
always
isn't he?
heralded as such a feminist. And then when you look
Yeah.
at it from a 2023 lens, you're like, this isn't feminism at all.
No, it's not. God, could you stay longer next time? That'd be great.
No, I've overstayed my welcome.
No,
you
never.
have not.
We love
Never
you,
happened.
Kristyn.
All right, my dear. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll talk to you today, actually.
You'll talk to me today. I'll be on at 10:45 on the family. That's Central Time. And then tomorrow, of course.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and talented Kristyn Burtt. Isn't she wonderful?
She's great.
She just is. Where do you think that thing comes from with mostly it's actors and musicians and things like that, drugging women to have sex with them? It's like, ish.
I know. And you know what? It was actually so prevalent in my high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not
Really?
like drugging them, but like getting girls very, very drunk and to the point where nobody remembers anything. That was a big thing.
Why would you want to do that?
A
It
big
makes no
flex.
sense.
It was such a weird time. I went to Henry Sibley, and now it's got some other name, but
Well, that's right. They changed the name
they
of the school,
changed the
didn't
name
they?
of it, so I can't even remember. But a big thing was going to the Apple River and getting girls absolutely wasted
yeah.
and running a train on them. That
Yep.
was, I know.
What? Oh, yeah. You never heard that before?
That
oh,
was
a big deal.
that was
Yeah.
the big flex.
It was,
and
yep.
thank God they didn't have our camera phones back then.
Oh, yeah.
And girls would just be like, yeah. I mean, like thank God, it never happened to me. But I got wasted, and there were definitely times where I don't remember things that had happened. And
Yeah.
I mean, nothing to that extent, but I mean, hooking up with guys I definitely would not have hooked up with, and areas I would not have hooked up with. I mean, it's
Yeah.
mortifying. And that happened a lot at our school. The dynamics were, well, you got wasted. That's what happens. You get wasted, and that's what happens.
Isn't there an upside with being in love with someone?
No, I know.
Yeah, it's kind of a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I think. I don't know. That whole taking advantage of people that cannot fight back thing makes me want to vomit.
It's just, that was huge in our high school. It was such a,
Really?
and then the military, that was another place that ran
Really?
rampant. Yeah. That, it was, there wasn't a lot of consent going around back in the day.
I just don't get it. I will never understand it as long as I live.
Yeah.
Whatever. Good. That's your life, and you do what you need to do, I guess.
No, it's super illegal. Don't.
The convicted, speaking of behavior like that, the convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein appeared to threaten Bill Gates and tried to blackmail the multi-billionaire over his extramarital affair with a Russian bridge player. A Russian bridge player? Why would that even come up? Doesn't she play poker? I mean, who cares?
Bridge.
Bridge? Okay. According to a new report published by the Wall Street Journal, speaking to the Journal, sources familiar with the matter said that after Epstein found out about the Microsoft co-founder's affair with Russian bridge player, they brought it up twice in the same paragraph. The Russian bridge player Mila Antonova, he threatened Gates into reimbursing him for tuition costs that Epstein had initially covered for Antonova, to attend software coding school. What in the hell is this story now?
So weird. This woman is fascinating, by the way.
I guess so. Epstein's threat to Gates came. Gates, it turns out, is one of the biggest filthy pigs on earth. You see the things that he tries to control.
No.
You know, he's the biggest landowner in America. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I mean, I actually, well, full disclosure, you told me last week, but otherwise I didn't know it prior.
He has changed the way we farm. He's changed the way we use chemicals. He's changed everything so he can make more money. Apparently being a multi-billionaire is not enough. Well, he's an extremely homely little weasel, and that's his problem. He's never going to get over that.
No.
He's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Just disgusting. Well, and didn't he steal the idea from one of his buddies anyway?
Though I never watched any of that. They had a lot of shows on it for a while with Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Was that
yeah,
the garage one where they were making it in the garage?
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. So it was the other guy's idea, though, right?
I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah. I bet if you go back, like, legality's sake, they would go, oh, because these guys were, like, in this incubator, as they call it, you know, and it was all under the same house, and they were all working for the same common goal. But if you really break it down X's and O's, you go, yeah, some guy came up with an idea, and Bill Gates decided to run with it.
Yeah, the other guy's idea. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought happened. Yeah. Whatever, I guess you do what you do. The money, boy. Some people, it's all about money because they have very small penises.
And this girl is very young.
Which
How
girl?
old is she?
The bridge player, the Russian
I'm
bridge
scared.
player.
How old?
So at the time, it says that he was 55. She was in her 20s. They don't give an exact specific.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a picture of them like standing next to one another, and it looks like father-daughter.
Ew.
Yeah, she's very, very young. When they say 20s, I bet she's like 20 to 21 in this photo.
Yeah, it doesn't say how old she is now.
No.
What is the upside here? I just don't. Don't you want to make a human connection? Right? Apparently not.
I'm so scared to see this photo. I hate. That's so creepy to me.
What are you looking at?
To see the one with Bill Gates and me,
Oh, you're looking at
famous bridge. Oh, she looks so young.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you this picture once I get it up.
Oh, once you get it up, okay.
Yeah.
Get it once she gets it up. Get it?
Look at that.
She looks like a barista at Starbucks.
She's like 16.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That's a baby.
He's disgusting.
That's.
Why don't you comb your hair for Christ's sake?
Ew.
Right?
I'm sorry. There's.
Not you. I was talking to Bill Gates.
Oh no, I know, no. Also,
Anyway.
I don't know if I have combed my hair.
You're fine.
No, it's so gross. And I know, there's age gaps and people's look different, but this looks like his granddaughter.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
looks like
it does, yeah.
bring your grandpa to a school day, and she's wearing a little spaghetti strap dress, very innocent looking, and also, can you make money off bridge? I'm actually impressed by that.
I suppose.
I don't know. I imagine. I mean, chess is, but it's a different a different country. So, chess over in Russia. Did you guys ever watch Queen's Gambit?
So
good.
good.
Loved it.
Yeah,
Loved
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was terrific.
Yes, she was
What's
very
that young woman's
talented.
name?
Oh my God.
Remember.
Really good.
She was also in a movie I just saw recently called, I think it's called The Meal.
No, the reservation, isn't it? Or
No, the meal. Oh, you mean the one with
Ray Fiennes.
Ray
is in it?
Fiennes. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the.
I think it was called The Menu.
The Menu.
the menu. That's what it was.
Yes.
You picked it up. Yeah, the menu. I watched that.
Yep.
It was good. It was
Great.
really good.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Anna.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
She's so good. She's in the new Mario movie too. She voices Peach.
Oh, she has a movie called Last Night in Soho.
So good.
Very
Oh, that one
good.
too.
Yeah, wild movie.
We just are huge fans of her.
I guess so. Didn't even realize it. What are you going to do? I have to get this off my screen. Bill Gates is looking at me. I hate that.
I can't.
son
I
of
know.
a
I
bitch.
had to X out of the one with him and
Horrible
his
person.
with his young girlfriend.
I mean, what a terrible human being. It's money. It's all he cares about.
When him and his wife divorced, did we know about the affair or did we just speculate? Because I can't remember at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
I think we kind of speculated that something happened, but we weren't sure what. But this explains a lot.
I think she cited something like irreconcilable differences,
Oh, yeah.
which usually means somebody did something they weren't supposed to do. Yeah, it's not like he leaves the toilet seat down and I just can't get over it. It's like, no. He went to a sex island and got busted with a girl who's barely legal.
Is it just that, again, my brain must be damaged heavily. Because I look for someone that I'd want to hang out with and, be with and have sex with and go out and have dinner with and do all the... I have no interest. Oh, look, there's somebody I can shtup.
It's so funny because
who cares?
When you're young, you think, how could I possibly be attracted to a 40-year-old man? When I'm 20, how could I be attracted to you, gross 40-year-old man? And then when I'm now at the age I'm at, so 37, and I look at my 42-year-old husband and I go, you are so attractive to me.
Yeah.
And so it's funny how
go.
the brain works, right? Now I look at a 20-year-old and go, no, thank you. That looks like a baby to me.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful my brain works like that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because it pivots with age. And I any other way would be rough. I'm just very thankful that seems to grow with me.
We have to take a break. What's that lame-o's name we have on now? I forgot his name.
I'm still in a fight with Chris Egert.
Oh,
so
you
I
are?
will not-
You're in a battle with him?
We're currently fighting.
What
He
are you
doesn't
fighting
know we're
about?
fighting.
Oh, okay.
Because he called me bored yesterday because I was sitting here listening to you.
That's true.
I hate him.
You hate him?
I can't hate Chris Egert.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very hateable Chris Egert joins us right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow are launching MyPillow 2.0. When Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could ever want in a pillow. 20 years later, he discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. The MyPillow 2.0 has the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, and now with the brand new fabric that is made with a temperature-regulating thread. The MyPillow 2.0 is the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you'll ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0. Buy one, get one free offer with promo code TOM. MyPillow 2.0, with its temperature-regulating technology, is 100% made in the USA and comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Just go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Just when you thought MyPillow couldn't get any better, MyPillow 2.0 gives you the best pillow ever. Promo code TOM or call 800-516-5146 to get your MyPillow 2.0s now.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit BialkeLaw.com. That's BIALKE Law.com.
Hi, this is Tom Barnard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own an Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walzer Nissan stores here in the Metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walzer different than other Nissan stores? And why should you absolutely go there this month? Tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle. First, there's Walzer Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walzer Nissan. This month, you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder S for only $269 a month. You'll need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So, not just Nissan, but Walzer Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Barnard family sent you and ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to Walzer.com and select the Walzer Nissan store nearest you.
$269 per month for 24 months. 10,000 miles per year. $5,900 due at signing. VIN PC 261725.
Do you ever Google yourself? Are you happy with what you find? Or is it cringy? Are you a business owner or on your company's marketing team? How do you feel when you Google your own place? What do you see? A non-updated social media page you don't even remember making? Ads for your competitors? Hubbard Interactive can help. They're a Google Premier partner, so they can use search engine optimization to get your click results higher. They've got a photo and video department to make your business look sharp, plus social media, influencer marketing, podcasting, and more. All the things that will make you a lot happier next time you Google yourself. Here's a Google search that you'll find rewarding. Hubbard Interactive. You can see all the marketing tools they've used on hundreds of successful businesses, including an extensive gallery of the great work they could help your venture with. HubbardInteractive.com. Building campaigns that connect.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Egert joins us now. Did you get a haircut or did you just comb your hair?
I don't know. It looks weird today. I'm not really
No,
sure.
it looks good. I'm just saying. I think you look stunning.
Tommy, the fact that you can wear a hat every day, and Rudy, it's a blessing.
Love it.
I wish I could wear a hat every day. I don't care about my hair. I spend 32 seconds on it every morning. So I kind of let it end up how it ends up.
It looks great.
Thanks.
That's all I'm saying. It looks magnificent. Must tell you, I did an appearance last night. There was a scholarship program. The people there between the ages of 18 and 102 years old. And the 102-year-old man, by the way, still drives, which I thought was very, very cool, actually. But your name came up. Everybody on the show's name came up. Tons of listeners to this show were at this thing last night. It was very, very nice. And they were showing other people there how to download the app and do that. They were helping tremendously. It was a very, very nice night. But yeah, you came up, and they're big fans of yours as well, along with Brittany and Rudy and everybody on the show. They didn't have one bad thing to say about anybody. Well, except for me, of course.
No.
Tom, we're not wild about you, but the rest of it, No, it was really, really a nice night.
That's cool. Glad to hear that.
3 very smart young kids. And my final message to them was, you have a job. You're 18 years old, the 3 of you. You have a huge job ahead of you because it's up to your generation to bring us back together again. Because we are so far apart and so disgusting as human beings right now. We need young people to bring us all back together. We really need them, no doubt. Right?
I agree.
They were probably like, gulp. I just want to go into computer sciences, sir.
No, they were great. All
that
3
sounds.
of them.
I bet you had a really inspiring. I bet they were very inspired.
Well, it's so funny because they had no idea who the hell I was. Right? They're 18 years old. They don't know who the hell I am.
I'm sure they know who you are.
By the time the night was, we were taking pictures together, and it was just a beautiful evening. Really, really nice.
Yeah, I bet they were pretty excited to have you. That's awesome because you don't do those things. I mean, you don't do speeches like that often.
No,
and
not
that kind of stuff.
I probably should do more though because it made me feel really good.
I love that
really
for
did.
you. I think that'd be great. And honestly, you're so good at public speaking. You rarely get nervous up there. And
I don't get nervous at all. I'm not smart enough to get nervous.
I live by that.
Oh yeah, look, she doesn't argue the point with me. Doesn't argue the point. Yeah, you're right, Tom. You're a dimwit. Yeah, don't worry about my
Their
feelings.
mics must be muted because I'm pretty sure their mouths were also going.
Yes,
no,
that's
no.
what it is. But anyway, I wanted to pass that along to you that nothing but very positive things said. It was about all of you. It was a terrific night. Really, really nice. Well, you go through those deals when you do those things. You got the 15-hour day ahead of you. You know how you go through that. It's interesting. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but it was really well worth it. I had such a great time. It was at Greenhaven Golf Course out in Anoka. Jim Lundeen was there, just a really, really nice man, great speaker himself. So, yeah, it worked out really well. But I just wanted you to know you've got fans out there, Buster.
Well, I'm glad you were able to do that.
Yeah.
And you do have listeners who are 18 because one of my son's buddies texted him the other day saying that he heard, hey, I heard your dad on with Tom Barnard the other day. So there's 18-year-olds listening.
That's very nice to hear. Yeah. I think it's because of Brittany. She just reels them in.
Good.
Is that it? Yeah, cool. Hey, 18-year-olds.
She's charming. She's beautiful. She's the whole package.
The whole package.
Shut up, Chris. I'm still a little mad at you, even though you're coming in hot right now. But I like the title. Did you see his little title he's wearing?
Did you put that up there?
He's big fat jerk. He's trying to figure out the camera.
Jerk he puts up there. What are you doing?
Fine. I can't stay mad
You're
at
a
Chris.
disaster.
My mom freaking loves Chris, and my neighbor Priscilla loves Chris. Everyone loves
Who
Chris.
doesn't?
I know. All
Just
these.
a given.
What they call you the other day? Priscilla called you Derpy. I think that was it. Very lovable. I call you Eeyore. I think you're.
What's a derpy?
What
I've
is
never
a
heard that
derpy?
before.
It's kind of like I don't know. Is it like I feel like Priscilla could explain it better, but you are very derpy, where you're serious, but you don't take yourself very seriously, and you're the first one to kind of go, I don't know if that's true.
Or not. We have no idea. It's all true.
What's your hat say? Oh, go ahead, Rudy.
I was going to say, derpy, the definition that they give on Google is foolish or stupid.
Oh, how nice is that? What a compliment.
Nobody thinks you're stupid.
We're even now, Brittany.
No, we're not even. Priscilla attacked you, not me.
Derpy. Stupid.
You're nuts. No, it's more of like a goofball.
I don't know what to go with, big fat jerk or derpy, because they're both right here in front
I
of
feel
me.
like derpy is a little more insulting.
You think
No, oh
Yes.
no, you're so lovable. Everybody
You're
is
right.
so annoyed. Especially the women in my life are so in love with Chris Egert. He's just, you're a goofball, and we like it.
Rudy, what's up with you, man?
Yeah, oh, he's changing the subject. I like it.
Hi, I was just thinking about the story. I don't know if I ever told you this, Chris, but during the state fair one year, this must have been the year that you lost your leg, because you guys, I don't know if you were doing a story on it or something, but you were out there and there was either a picture or my stepdad had seen you with like a pair of shorts on or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, can you believe it? There's a news anchor here in town that has one leg? Wow, that's courageous of that guy to get up there like that. And I said, oh yeah, it's Chris Egert. He's a good buddy of mine. We've worked together for years now. And he goes, huh, you know him? I said, yeah. And he goes, yeah, okay. And then he turned around and walked away.
Okay.
And I thought, did you just lower Chris's status with you because he knows me? I was like, that is such a stepdad thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
Where he just goes,
Sounds like
that
my
guy's
stepdad.
Yeah.
They should meet and talk about how they've deflated egos and self-confidence for their entire lives.
Yeah. I told him one time when he goes, hey, do you see that Dave Dahl is 40 years in the business? I go, yeah, Dave and I work together. It's awesome, huh? And he goes, I mean, 40 years isn't that long.
Now that you're involved,
Jesus.
now that you're involved, it means nothing. I didn't have to go through that. I was very, very lucky. I just had one horrible father. I didn't have to go through his stepdad's got to be a bitch, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I love my stepdad,
Do ya?
so they're not all terrible.
Well, that's good to hear.
Richard, I like you. You're fine.
I
call
like
him
my
Dick.
stepdad too. A bit does though tend to sort of not necessarily always look at the optimistic side of things.
Yeah. I got those people in my life too, where you tell them something and immediately go, oh, but was there traffic? And you go, what?
We just use the old Christopher Walken line. When my mother did try to date, I was a very young boy at the time. I was like 16, 17, something like that.
That's wild thinking about Toots trying to date with you guys. That many sons in her life.
I will tell you, the guy, she only did it a few times, but every time they were taken aside and mentioned, I will do some damage you won't walk away from.
A little 6-year-old saying that to you, but you believe him.
Oh, yeah. You mess with my mother, you ain't going to live very long. I can promise you that. They'll
Shut
find
up,
you
or I am going to stab you.
See? There's an actual recording from my mom's house right there.
Spot on.
I was only 16 at the time. It was unbelievable. Now, we're very protective of the people around the house. There's no doubt about that. So that's how it should work, right?
Good.
So basically the weather's good, so that's good news.
Yeah.
Is there any other good news in the world?
Yeah, actually, now that you bring that up, and you guys are always kind of, feeling like I should bring more positivity into the newscasts.
Well, just having you here is the positivity.
Well, I mean,
we're
obviously,
looking
even with my derpy delivery.
Priscilla texted me. She goes, but relatable derpy. Everybody's very up in arms now.
I love it.
They love you.
Love it.
I've got, this is great. A new national ranking has Minnesota at number 1.
I saw that. You know what it's in, though, right? You know why it's number 1?
Brittany? Rudy?
I always want to say bike something. Something to do
A
with
lot
bikes.
of biking going on here, but that's not it.
Uh-oh. What is it?
Any guesses, Rudy?
Longest drought of any professional sports team bringing home a championship?
There you go. From a guy who's not a fan of Minnesota sports, by the way.
He said it with a smile.
Yes, he did.
No, I want to see us win. My home state win. I'd much rather see my teams win. But either way, is that it? It's not it, I guess.
No.
Okay.
We're number 1 at potholes.
Exactly. I saw that look on your face this morning at 6 a.m. when you were doing that story. You're like, dirty bastards.
I did have a little glint.
You did.
Little glint in my eye on that one.
was
For all
watching
of
you
us
this
who
morning.
endured this winter and how crappy the roads have been, I guess it felt like a little like justification that, yes, our roads are that terrible. What was it? It was Lending Tree article.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of different analytics about how they pulled it together, but Minnesota had the most like online searches of potholes, pothole problems, and then they used a couple of different parameters to put it together. I think California was second, Washington State was third, Wisconsin was 38th, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, that's probably because all the dirts are dirt roads.
Sure.
You think also they might use the people's tax money to help the people?
Or they could do that.
Just a thought, you know.
And that was just a Wisconsin. I love you, Wisconsin. I wasn't really knocking
No,
on
Wisconsin's
it,
a
so.
great state. I love Wisconsin.
Let's see. Minneapolis came in second, specifically on cities. Los Angeles was first. San Francisco, I think, was third. And then Duluth was in the top 7.
Oh, I
So-
saw that, yeah. Yep.
Look at Minnesota. Like, really, there we are.
Potholy.
You know, coming back from Oklahoma City, I was thinking about how pristine the roads were when I was there.
yeah.
And I didn't realize it until last night. We went to the Twins game, and beforehand, we went to the Free House on Washington Avenue.
Sure.
And while we were driving down Washington Avenue with my daughter, I was like, man, these roads are beat to hell.
They're terrible
They're
over
awful.
there.
Well, it's a lot of drag racing over there.
A lot of it, yes.
That does not help.
Yeah, well, Tommy B takes the Tesla down there and does a couple of burnouts.
Sure. That's it. That's it. Yeah, that tears the hell out of the roads, particularly in the winter.
Sure.
Well, in summer too, because it heats up the road surface, and then you can tear the piss out of it.
Well, those southern states they've got a whole different, having lived down in, Central Florida, and Tom, I know you're down in Florida a lot too, but they've just got a whole different maintenance process.
they do.
Is different. They don't have to put up with the cold. I think any engineer will tell you the ridiculous fluctuation in temperatures is what causes it. But it's pretty nice to go other places and you're like, oh my gosh, like every road is beautiful and wide open and there's not a bump anywhere, and wow. But
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. And I've never understood why Minnesota doesn't stay on top of the road. We pay and pay and pay and pay to live in this state, and we get very little for our money.
We're number one. We're number
In
one.
what? What are we number
have
one in?
the worst potholes.
Oh, in potholes. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. Don't you love the fact that we had $19 billion just sitting in the tray there, and they spent all that plus another $5 billion? I mean, did you actually think we were going to get some of that $19 billion back?
There was, to your point, the legislature, they wrapped up their session officially yesterday, and there's a lot of people getting a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That money comes from somewhere, though. We know how the government gets funded. That's our taxes. So of all the money that's going out, there's going to be plenty coming back in, too. That's for sure. So
how's it coming back in?
By you and I and Brittany and Rudy, and we're all going to be putting that money back in.
So we just pay and pay and pay and pay.
I mean,
and then we're still horrible
doubt,
people.
There's no doubt about it. So
I guess I will never understand why they just can't stop pissing away money that's not their money. It's our money. They should have to ask our for a vote on everything.
But they renamed the Prince Highway, so we have that.
The Prince Highway.
We have that to hold on to. We whisper in our pillows before we go to bed.
A purple rain. He was a talented fella.
For sure.
He was, no
Absolutely.
question.
But
I'm so dumb. I've probably driven by frickin' Paisley Park like 40 times before I realized that was Paisley Park, because it's so unassuming. I just didn't even know.
What's a pyramid?
And
pyramid though.
And we lived out that direction for a while, and I was like, oh, that's a weird looking building, but I never even thought anything of it. Again, I'm a dope and derpy or whatever, but
derpy.
And then I was like, oh, that's where Paisley Park is? And then I felt like such a moron, but
Should I do my entire conversation I had with him once? I'll do the whole thing on.
I'd love to hear that. Yes.
This is my entire conversation with Prince the one time I met him. I was at Cliff Siegel, now Lawrence Siegel's house, and I was walking along through the living room, and here comes Prince the other way. And as he walked past me, I looked over and went, "How you doing?" And he said, "Hi." There. That's the whole conversation. That was it. That was the whole thing right there. I got a hi. It wasn't even he didn't even try to say hi. He just kind of went, hi. Apparently a nice enough guy if you got to know him. I didn't really know him at all, but apparently he was a decent guy.
Well, apparently pretty shy too.
Oh, very shy, yeah.
Which is the whole thing that's funny it's not funny, but when you look back, he'd always been kind of reclusive, pretty quiet, expressive and loud when he was on the stage, but from all accounts, he was a pretty quiet guy in real life. But then you watched as he was what we now know was going through his problems with his body, and he decided, he was taking drugs, painkillers, or whatever it was that was helping him to feel better. You notice his personality changed. He was a lot more outgoing.
Yep.
And I guess looking back, it should have been like, wait, why all of a sudden is this person whose personality we have a pretty good idea what it is? Why did that dynamic change? Well, now, hindsight being 2020, people can look back and see it. But the Strib did a really interesting article at the time, sort of, maybe a couple of weeks or months after he passed, to sort of go back and look and cobble together a timeline of where things kind of changed. It was really interesting. Very interesting.
No, it's a hell of a story because he went to Minneapolis Central High School and went to North for a while. He bounced around quite a bit. And now you, as a basketball player in college, right?
Yeah.
You played basketball at the college level.
Yes.
Did you see the latest developments now in basketball?
What so? How so?
Well, maybe I'm not going to tell you. I'm gonna keep it to myself. That's all there is to
What
it.
is it? Tell
I'll get
me.
back to you. Forget it.
Do tell.
No, it's all right. Don't worry about me.
No, please. I want to know.
Let me think about it. I'll talk. Maybe I'll bring it up to you tomorrow because it has to fully develop. But
okay,
it's a pretty interesting story, actually.
Really? All right. Well, you want to text
I will tell you what it is because I can't wait till tomorrow because then you hear it.
Yeah.
LeBron James is thinking of leaving basketball.
I was wondering if it was that. I just read that on the way in here, actually.
Oh, my God. What is that going to do to that sport if he quits?
Well, I know you're not a huge basketball fan, but there are some players that will definitely keep it afloat. Giannis Antetokounmpo right now. You got, the Denver Nuggets are a team coming out of nowhere. Even though I despise Jimmy Butler for what he did for his time in Minnesota, you got to admit the guy's a hell of a basketball player, and he is carrying that team to the playoffs. They are an 8 seed. They beat the best team in basketball, and now they're going to be going on to the NBA Finals to take on the second best team in basketball, and they are going to be the heavy favorites. You got Ja Morant, who has just an incredibly ridiculous Instagram that is getting him into a ton of trouble and bringing a lot of attention to the NBA. They're also doing things like baseball. When I went to the game last night, it was so much fun to watch how peppy it was.
Yeah,
and I
it
was
is
like,
nice.
Man,
it is great.
It was great.
Yeah.
The game was like 2 hours, 20 minutes. We were in, we were out. We got to drink beers until the eighth inning.
Their ass kicked yet again.
There was a little bit of that.
God, they suck right now.
But basketball is kind of doing the same thing, and especially for us here in Minnesota, we've had such a terrible run with the Timberwolves that it makes us just go, ugh, there's no way we want to watch this team. But yes, it'd be a huge letdown if that guy decided to leave. But luckily, there are still some people in the league that could definitely keep it afloat.
I was a big Lakers fan back in the day, but even bigger Boston Celtics. That was because of Kevin McHale and all that, and Larry
Bird, and that was
Robert Parrish.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
Danny Ainge.
Dennis
Johnson.
Absolutely.
Don't forget about Dennis.
Dennis Johnson. Yeah, that was a great team. Really, really great. And then I met some of them, and I didn't like the sport anymore.
Happens.
NBA players are the biggest pricks in all of sports.
That's what everyone keeps saying.
And
with
they're not
Phil
nice people.
And Judd, they keep saying they're not.
They're not.
That sucks.
They're tall and arrogant.
But then you get guys like John Staley, who is just like the sweetest, nicest.
I don't know him.
Doesn't care about basketball one bit. does not. I mean, he played for. I think he played for the Lakers for a while. I think he's got a
okay.
couple of championships under his belt. But after he retired from basketball, he's a very outspoken vegan. Goes around and tells ex-NBA players, you guys got to start working on your bodies and stop thinking about basketball and put away the jewelry, get rid of the cars, get rid of the big houses, because now that the money is not coming in, you have more money going out, and you got to figure out a long-term plan. He's a very smart guy.
I feel like you could,
go ahead, Brittany.
if you're in any sport, you could rationalize being an absolute asshole would be baseball.
Why did you, when you said the word asshole, you looked at me? Why did you do that? Yeah, see? Typical.
Because baseball players have to play constantly.
Yeah, they do.
And you must be tired all the time. And you're traveling constantly. I think they're the only ones you should get the pass to just be jerks. Everyone else, barely play, step it up, be nice.
My theory on the basketball player thing is that the rosters are smaller.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very select group of people who have the size, the strength, and the ability to become an NBA player. The Major League Baseball's got way more people on every team. The football teams have more people. And I'm not justifying it, but I think that guys who were on an NBA path probably found it out at a very young age and have been treated differently almost their entire lives.
I think you're right about that. I used to love watching basketball. I really did. And it was another one of those. There are people that I was a huge fan of, met them, and not so big a fan anymore. Meeting people has been, because in this business, you're going to meet everybody, you know? Yeah. And it's really too bad because a lot of people are very disappointing.
I think the LeBron thing will actually be good in one regard, because then we can finally stop trying to compare Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
Yeah, that's true.
So freaking every time there's a game and LeBron's playing, there's some BS thing that the broadcast, whatever, no matter where it's airing, there's always some LeBron versus MJ thing that comes up. If they're both retired, great. Let them be retired and stop that debate. It's ridiculous. They're two players from different eras
and different kind of players too. They're not the same player.
Yes, and we all know nobody can be Michael Jordan anyway. So I don't even know why we're discussing it.
They're both terrific, no doubt about that, and in their own way. You're absolutely right.
The only one who can defeat Michael Jordan
is Michael Jordan.
Is Larsa Pippen, who's currently dating his son.
Mm-hmm. Larsa Pippen,
is that?
That's Scottie Pippen's ex. Yes, she's a Real Housewives of Miami.
Oh,
she's taking them down from the inside.
Do you really want to be doing? How old is she and how old is he?
The age difference isn't that big,
it's
but
not.
She did possibly have met him when he was a kid, which that's a little weird.
Oh, God.
The timelines are a little blurry.
That's
but
nasty.
Yeah, it's not great. But yeah, so she could technically be Larsa Pippen Jordan.
Larsa Pippen Jordan.
You would drop the Pippen, though, wouldn't you?
No.
What?
You'd hold on to them all. It's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all.
Collect them all?
Yeah.
It's like Pokemon. Okay.
If you could be a Pippen Jordan, hell yeah, you'd be a Pippen Jordan.
Wouldn't you, if you had to drive 6 miles, wouldn't you do that rather than take a helicopter? No, thank you.
Oh, God, yeah.
That didn't work out too well, unfortunately. Yeah. All right, Pally, what else you got for us?
The clouds the sky's gonna be weird and funky and red again for the next several days because of the wildfires that are burning in Canada.
That's not what they're saying. They're saying it's because of the ozone and we're all gonna die.
Today specifically, it's ozone because there's not a lot of wind and it's going to be pretty warm in the Twin Cities. But it sounds like the situation in Canada is going to continue to be a problem here for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, specifically today, it's just regular funneled stuff like factories and car exhaust.
Yeah.
Well, if it's like that, like I like to bring Go-Go outside. Should I not? Like, what is the seriousness of when they start saying
She doesn't have any current breathing issues or anything. Should be fine.
Okay.
I think it's mainly people who've got some kind of like condition that causes them to have problems. It usually gets inflamed when things when the air quality is like that. But
you know what pisses me off about that, and it really does piss me off, that 99% of all these pollutants and problems come from the Eastern Hemisphere, and then we pretend it's our fault. No, it's all all of it is from the Eastern Hemisphere, or the bigger portion of it, is because they still dump their garbage in the ocean. They still pollute nonstop. They don't do anything to try to protect the environment, and yet we're over here wringing our hands. Well, I think we should bomb them back to the Stone Age. What do you think?
Well, it leads to a spot where I can stop recycling because I'm getting real tired of it.
Tired of that whole deal?
Rudy just wants to quit recycling. That's his.
There was an article in the Washington Post today about recycling that said a pretty high percentage of the recycled plastics go back into the environment.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Like directly into the groundwater and directly into the air, in a lot of cases directly into us, which does definitely make you question why you're doing it in the first place.
Well, because it's money. Because the garbage companies make you pay an extra $70 a month or what every 3 months to have that recycling bin out there, but then they do nothing with the recyclables.
Did any of you guys live in Minneapolis about 5 years ago? The strictness that they used to have on recycling was wild. I mean, you'd have to go out there and separate everything and then use twine and have them in bundles. It was crazy. I don't know how many times I was rejected by the recycling man. I'd go out there begging them, please just take it.
Otherwise, old what's her name would drive around to your house and scold you. Who was the mayor before Fry?
Betsy Hodges.
Hodges, yeah. Betsy would probably drive around and go scold you for not.
Yeah.
Would she be wearing a burqa when she was driving around, though? I knew Betsy long before she became mayor. All of a sudden, she's wearing a hijab every day. It's like, what the hell is that now? Calm down.
I don't think she did that when she was the mayor, did she?
Oh, absolutely she did. Every time you saw her publicity pictures, she's wearing a hijab. Oh, look it up when you're off.
I will.
Tell me tomorrow.
You got a lot of things to look up today. I'm going to be
do.
busy after the show. Yeah.
All right, Pally, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye, you guys. Have a good day.
Chris Egert, ladies and gentlemen, we got to take a break here. Be right back in a couple minutes. Got a very special guest coming up at the top of the hour. You know, I've always said you can't count on 2 nice weekends in a row until mid-June in Minnesota. Well, once again, who's right? Yeah, that's right, it'd be me. What better time to lose weight like I'm doing with mnfatloss.com. The program's been great for me. I've lost 22 pounds, and I've been on the program for about a month now. I'm not feeling hungry. I'm feeling healthier. I got plenty of energy. I wouldn't follow a fat loss program that isn't safe. You know that. I've got to be around to do this podcast. You know that as well. I'm proving that you can, if you lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a couple of months, do yourself a favor. Check out the program at mnfatloss.com. It really does work. Of course, results may vary, but I am losing weight, and I feel great, and that's what I set out to do. So there you have it. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks like I'm doing, it's about a pound of fat every day, no exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Please be sure to tell them that Tom Barnard sent you. Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy sunset from the water, entertain the kids, and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lakes in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud, and hundreds of Benningtons in stock across all locations. The Power Lodge is your destination before you hit the lakes this summer and cruise at sunset. Fun begins at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Get some throttle therapy on land and water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them Tommy sent you. There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Bernard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A little news information. The weather right now, air quality alert for most of southern Minnesota until 8 p.m. tonight, including in the metro area, not due to wildfire smoke, but rather ozone from stagnant air. Mostly sunny and warm today with a high of 85, partly cloudy tonight, a low of 58. Then Wednesday, much cooler and breezy, partially sunny with a sprinkle, a high of 68 tomorrow. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 71. Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 77. Then Saturday and Sunday, partly to mostly sunny. 81 on Saturday, 83 on Sunday. So pretty decent weather coming up. What do they mean by stagnant air? Why is the air stagnant?
I mean, that was what we were touching on. I don't know what.
Yep.
It sounds terrifying, not ideal.
Stagnant.
But I love that weather yesterday, so.
Well, how can the air be stagnant? I don't understand that.
Well, Chris was talking about how there's no wind today. So since there's no wind, that can't take any of the smoke out. That doesn't move it. So
Right.
it's just basically we're sitting.
But they say it's not the smoke.
Well, whatever it might be, they talked about the ozone, which is weird because.
Yeah, I don't know about the ozone. What's that got to do with airflow?
Yeah. Also, whatever happened to the hole in the ozone layer? Remember that?
Yeah, that was a huge hole.
That was all I cared about in elementary school, it seemed like, was not putting a hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah, it was quicksand and ozone layer. That was what was going to kill you. And now,
recycle now.
Yep, and now nothing. Yep. Dumb.
Say, who made the money off of that one then? Because that wasn't just a money-making deal, too.
Right?
Oh,
It's all bullshit, all of it. It's disgusting.
Recycle, reduce, reuse.
How about this? Once you live a clean life and you don't have to worry about it then, just get everybody's head out of their ass and we'll go forward.
Yeah,
That's fair, isn't it?
That sounds reasonable, so I don't think we're going to go that route.
Yeah, it's too reasonable. You're absolutely right. No question about it. Best movie quotes of all time. This is not a story, just a list, which is fine with me.
I love it. Let's hear it.
We got number one. Oh, wait a minute. I got to click on this to make sure I get it all up here. 100. Well, I won't be doing all 117 of the best movie quotes of all time.
Get us through the week.
You got, of course, don't forget, I'm also just a girl standing in the front of a boy asking him to love her. How do you know that one?
Because it's gorgeous.
What's it from?
Just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to love her.
What movie's it from?
I'm blanking, but I know the quote without.
You did. You read the quote perfectly.
It's The Notebook, isn't it?
Yeah. No.
Oh, what
It's
is
not
that?
The Notebook. I'm just a girl.
You got the N-O-T right.
Oh, not?
Notting Hill.
Notting Hill.
Oh,
Very
that's
good.
what it is.
Very good.
Yeah.
That broke my brain for a while, but yeah, that quote's everywhere. That's pretty sweet.
Well, who is the woman in the
Julia,
picture? Julia Roberts?
Yeah, she's the one who says it.
She's a very pleasant person, from what I understand. Nobody puts baby in a corner. You're going to just finish all these
I was just
sentences, aren't
excited.
you?
No, I never know them because it's
Jesus,
such
you're
a boy
disaster.
thing to do, and I never know them.
What's a boy thing to do?
Knowing quotes of movies. So
Oh,
I'm like
really?
shocked that I know these. Like when I was deployed, guys would spit them out constantly. You spit them out constantly. Rudy spits them out. I can
Like
never
what?
remember them. You're gonna walk away with some damage, or you will get some. I can't
I'll
even
do
say
some
the quote.
damage you won't walk away from. Maybe that's in here. It might be. Patrick Swayze said as Johnny Castle in Dirty Dancing.
Mm-hmm.
God, that show is from 1987.
And then they do the lift.
Jesus, 36 years ago. I can't believe that was that long ago. I need to know that it's possible that two people can stay happy together forever. I never even heard that one. Elliot Page's Juno MacGuffin Juno.
I just watched that on Mother's Day. It's
Oh, you did?
such a good movie. It's
Oh,
on
is it?
HBO right now. Watch it. You're gonna go, yeah, this is a good movie. It's just fun and it has a good story.
Yeah, some of these quotes are lame. I'm going to skip over some of them. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man. Now you know who said that.
Oh, yeah. It's my favorite movie of all time.
It is a great movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what we're talking about, Britt? Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
The one with the guy who drinks the White Russians.
There you go.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
As the dude.
The dude, yes.
In Big Lebowski.
Yeah, Big Lebowski.
You're Lebowski, man. I'm the dude.
I'm the dude. That was a pretty good movie. You know, it took me forever. I didn't see that movie for probably the first 10 years it was out.
Nobody saw it for the first 10 years it was out.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
And then it did nothing in the box office. And then one day, I think it was right when DVDs started coming around, because that was really like the big push, and that's where it kind of got its cult following.
Yeah.
And people that are into that movie, you're never casually into that movie.
No.
They are obsessed. I had a friend who was so obsessed with that movie, he started drinking White Russians on the regular and gained like 20 pounds in a month.
Well.
Yeah, because he was like carrying cream around, or half and half, and we were concerned.
Yeah.
My favorite quote, we'll close with my favorite quotes that I've seen so far.
Okay.
Denzel Washington as Detective Sergeant Alonzo Harris in Training Day said, and I quote, "King Kong ain't got shit on me."
That's a good one. I mean,
That's a good quote.
So, who wrote that? Like, could you imagine as a writer?
Yeah.
King Kong ain't got as he feverishly writes. That's so good. And then
that.
the
I think it's
delivery was mwah.
He did a good job.
Killed it.
Well, Denzel's a pretty damn good actor.
Denzel's so talented. What was the one where he was a pilot, a drunk pilot?
Yeah, he flips the plane upside down.
I don't remember that
I can't remember the name of it.
It's like Flight something, or I'm not sure. But he was so talented in that, and you both hated him and loved him. You both wanted him to get away with it and wanted him to get caught. It was so good.
That's just the deal.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
All right, let me know when Hazard's ready to go. If you would, Rudy, I'd appreciate it immensely. A Lee Adams story. So what is this all about?
Oh, it's called Flight.
What is called Flight?
The one I was trying to remember, the movie with Denzel Washington where he was a drunk pilot and suffered. It was both fun and dealt with hardcore alcoholism, and he walked that line so well.
Well, there you go. Meet the guy who keeps St. Paul Saints fans smiling. Lee Adams is more than an announcer. His job is to entertain.
That's what the Saints is all about.
I love the Saints. I love going to those games. It's a lot of fun to do that.
Lee Adams does this really funny thing. Whenever the visiting team kind of huddles at the mound, or whatever they call that, where they go to the mound and talk in their little circle.
Yeah, yep.
He'll start narrating for him. He's like, "Hey, did you bring any lunch money?"
Oh.
No, I didn't. What do you think?
Really?
And
He does that?
Oh, I will cry laughing at the Saint games. They're so funny.
So you love Lee Adams.
Yes, he's so talented. You would, and he kind of does kind of deadpan and then throws out things here and there. There's just a lot. If you go enough, you find these little traditions and fun stuff. It's a blast.
Just a quick paragraph here. We got a guest coming up in a second. Lee Adams might have the best job in the world. He's a public address announcer for the St. Paul Saints. His background is in theater and comedy. He also grew up a Boston Red Sox fan. So when the Saints came calling more than a decade ago, seeking to jazz up what could be a ho-hum gig, he jumped at it. Eye on St. Paul recently chatted with Adams near CHS Field to talk about working Saints games and some of his most memorable moments. There's a great article in the Star Tribune about Lee Adams. You should read it. It's a longer article, otherwise I would read it, but it's quite long. So.
Yeah, and it's question answer, so it's kind of a fun read.
Right. It's question answer. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So it is kind of a fun read. We good to go? Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, a new book, The Art of Clear Thinking, a Stealth Fighter Pilot's Timeless Rulings for Making Tough Decisions. Our very special guest, Hasard Lee. So basically, Hazard, you're comparing being a fighter pilot with being a morning disc jockey, because it's, tough decisions nonstop. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, you got it. Decision making is something that we all can improve in. It's something that's not taught in schools. So, I think anybody can learn from this book.
The Art of Clear Thinking, one of the top fighter pilots in the world, teaches readers to make clear decisions in everyday life. Hazard Lee is arguably the top fighter pilot in the U.S. Air Force. Lee flies the F-35 Joint Strike Stealth Fighter, the most advanced, and by the way, I love this, by the way, Hazard, the most advanced and expensive fighter jet in the world. Don't be putting dents in that, Hazard, all right?
I know, it's pricey out there. Well, first of all, there are plenty of great pilots out there, so I wouldn't say I'm the greatest fighter pilot. Plenty of great mentors out there, but it is an expensive jet, about $100 million a copy.
Whoa!
So you definitely don't want to scratch it.
Hazard, do you think this is as the world moves on with digital and all the rest of it, making tough decisions, has that gotten harder for people? I was just talking this morning because I'm in a different generation than Brittany and Rudy on the show with me, and they talked about there's a lot more to do now. They have to make a lot more decisions, this, that, and the other thing. It's a lot different than when I was their age. Is that one of the things? Is it very, very difficult to make tough decisions, much more so than it's ever been? Or what do you think about that, Hazard?
It is getting more difficult. So
Yeah.
one of the concepts I talk in the book is about prioritizing what's important versus urgent. And so if you can just do that, so if you graph urgent versus important, you come up with 4 quadrants, you can increase your ability to prioritize by 60%. And there's a lot of urgent things out there, a lot of emails, meetings, notifications that aren't that important to your ultimate goal. So being able to have that tunnel vision to really focus on what's important is a critical skill. That plus decisions are becoming more important now. We're leveraging technology to help enhance and augment our decisions. So when I'm flying the F-35, I'm essentially in a suit of technology that is allowing me to be thousands of times more capable than I could be on my own. Same thing for all of us, though, when you're on your computer, your phone, your car. It's all helping you, and it's adding leverage to your decisions. So decision-making has never been more important than it is now.
Yeah, I could see that being very, very true. Did you ever, like, take it over the top? I don't know. Are you a married guy? Are you with someone?
Correct. I'm married with kids.
Okay, the reason I want to check at that. And does your wife drive once in a while? Because my wife always drives. Whenever we go somewhere, she always drives. And there's a reason for that. But does your wife drive once in a while?
Sure, yeah, she drives.
The only reason I'm asking you that, you got to do this for me, Hazard. Next time she drives, I want you to get in the car. I want you to make sure that you're very demonstrative about putting on your seatbelt because you just don't feel safe with her driving. What do you think?
Yeah,
Not
she's
happening.
a good driver. She's a good driver. She's
So's
fine.
mine.
She has to drive with kids in the car, so I have full trust in her.
Good. See, now that's what we like to hear. There's no question about it. The art of clear thinking. How do we become... Now, one other question I have for you, Hazard. We're talking to Hasard Lee, ladies and gentlemen, about his book, The Art of Clear Thinking, A Stealth Fighter Pilot's Timeless Rules for Making Tough Decisions. How does Facebook and Instagram and all these things, how does that enter into it? Because we didn't used to have to deal with some of the garbage we deal with right now. People going after each other and bad-mouthing one another, and it just... There's so much of that stuff right now. How do people get that out of their lives? Now, I don't go on social media at all, Hazard. I did for a while, but I hated it. I haven't gone on social media in 10 or 11 years because everybody's got an opinion about, you're talking about clear thinking here. Is it easy for the average human being in this world with all this digital, is it easy to be a clear thinker?
It's certainly not easy, but it's definitely a skill that you can get better at. And you're right, with social media, our minds are cluttered with all kinds of random garbage out there. So it's important to be able to distill what's important and what's not. And so I talk in the book about coming up with the expected value of your decisions and different techniques for ways to be able to get rid of that noise and to really focus on the signal, what's important, what's going to achieve your overall goals, or for us, when we're flying missions, overall mission success. And so I wrote the book really not just for pilots. I wrote it for everybody out there to be able to learn this meta skill to become a better decision maker. And so far, it's really been resonating with veterans. People are buying it with Memorial Day coming up for friends that they know who served. Graduations are around the corner, so people are buying it for people who are graduating. And Father's Day is around the corner, so people are ordering it for Father's Day because that's one of the most important and toughest jobs where you have to be a clear thinker with minimal sleep. So that, is a lot like being a fighter pilot.
I think it's very, very important what you're talking about, Hazard, because a lot of people do avoid making important decisions, and we cannot go through life avoiding making, important, tough decisions. So I'm really glad you put the book out. I think people are going to learn a lot. It's part of what you need to do to live a good, happy life. Because if you keep ignoring the problems, they're never going to go away, correct?
Correct, yeah. And to your point, no decision is a decision, and it's usually one of the worst things you can do. So make a decision and move on to the next one. We have so many that we have to make out there. If you can just put some behind you, you can make significant progress. Too often people get paralyzed by all the choices we have, especially in the modern world where you have tons of dating options, tons of products out there. It's easy to have analysis by paralysis. So you need to be able to make that decision, move on quickly.
I love it. And I love your descriptor, Hasard Lee, arguably one of the greatest fighter pilots in Air Force history. That's a pretty important title you got there, Hasard.
I have to disagree with that. I'm a fighter pilot. I have plenty of friends that are amazing fighter pilots. So I don't know where that came from, but I like just being another fighter pilot out there with my friends.
I think it's a great. First of all, I really love the idea, Hasard, that you're putting this out. We're talking to Hasard Lee about his new book, The Art of Clear Thinking. I think more than ever because, Brittany, who's on the show with us this morning, Rudy's here. They talk about all the things in their generation that now get in the way. And being in my generation, because I'm about, 30 years older than they are, I look back and go, yeah, we didn't have all these problems, all this, that. And I suppose even in the early 1950s, when people got TVs in their house, it confused them for a while. That's how life changes. So I think it's very, very important that you put out this book. I think it's a great idea.
Well, thank you. I spent 6 years writing this book. At one point, over 500 days in a row writing it. I wrote every word in it, and extremely proud of how it turned out. The audiobook, I read parts of it while flying, so first time in history that anybody's done that for an audiobook. So I'm really excited to get it out there and to make the world a little bit better of a place.
No question. I know we only got about 30 more seconds with you, so I want to ask you, Hasard, what's it like? You're sitting behind the wheel of $100 million jet. You're flying through the air. How does that feel, man? It's got to be amazing.
Well, it's incredible. You are sitting on top of 40,000 pounds of thrust, and it's a roller coaster that you can control. You can put yourself to sleep because it turns so fast it can make you pass out. So, I mean, it's just the craziest hot rod you can ever imagine.
Please come back, Hasard. I'd love talking to you. And again, thank you for putting this out. We need to think more clearly as a society. The Art of Clear Thinking as Stealth Fighter Pilots, timeless rules for making tough decisions. We all have to make them. So I appreciate it. And thank you for the book.
Thank you so much, Hasard. And I'm a little annoyed with you. I was in the Army, and when I found out what a Air Force base was like, I'll never forgive you guys.
Oh, yeah. They all have golf courses.
I hate you. So I was like, I was an idiot. Why would I go Army? So thank you so much for your service.
Well, thank you for your service. Thank you.
Oh, there he is. He's had to go. But I love his line. Yes, we all have golf courses.
Oh, when you find out the lies you're told in the Army, you go, oh, Air Force is garbage. You don't want to be in the Air Force. Be in the Army. And you just talk so much crap about the other, forces. And then you find out, you go, oh, my God, they have beds. And
they have beds?
And like pools and community centers. And I'm like, I'm out here living in a tent in Kuwait. What the actual hell?
He was terrific. I thought he was a very good guest.
Yeah, he's cool.
Worked out really, really well.
Great,
and you made a huge mistake.
Huge mistake.
Way to go.
To this day.
Typical.
I like nice things. Why was I in the Army?
I don't like this now. I'm looking at the screen, and it says Tom, and then next to that it says Brittany, and then next to that it says Rudy. And then next to that, it did say big fat jerk when Chris Egert was on. And now that it's Judd, it's sports dad. How do we make that switch?
Big fat jerk?
That's what it said, yes.
I love that guy.
Him and I got in a fight yesterday, and that was his version of apologizing. And then I offended him today. So I think we're even. Me and Chris Egert. Roller coaster of emotions.
How did you manage to get in a fight with one of the nicest people I know, Brittany?
Exactly.
Okay, because I was looking at Tom while he's telling me a story, and he's like, Brittany, are you bored? And I was like, what? It was pretty much a, hey, you need to smile more moment. And then he came in, and then I called him Derpy today, and that didn't go over well. So
Derpy.
We're feuding. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I did not know what Derpy meant.
I have no idea. What does it mean?
So I guess it's like goofy, silly. The thing is, too, is he's such a contrast to what you think he's going to be like.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, but you see him, and is this, like, attractive, tall, serious newsman, and then he comes on our show, and he's so fun and silly doesn't take himself serious, and there's, like, a derpiness to him, and I refuse to expand on that.
I'm still confused. I'm more confused now than I was when I was told I was going to get the definition of derpy.
I have that effect on men.
You should be in Studio A. Believe me, it's all day, every day. It's unbelievable. It's a disaster.
I've got a quick question, too, though.
All right.
What is the whole thing? And I've never gotten this. What is the thing with our society and the male species who want women to smile more? What is that all about?
It's happened to me constantly. Smile. I mean, in radio, especially radio. What do I need to smile for? And
Because
then
you're on camera now.
the military, but I just go,
That's a good look.
I don't know what it is. It happens and used to happen more in public in my 20s was smile. Oh, you should smile. Like, what? I have no idea.
Well, that just happened to me last night, as a matter of fact. I came home after making that appearance, got home about 9 o'clock, and Catherine said, "Why aren't you smiling?" And I said, "You've been seeing what the Twins are doing? That's why I'm not smiling, a pain-in-the-ass team. I hate them. They're driving me nuts right now." Judd, what am I going to do?
Nothing. They should be. Like what they're doing, I don't get it. You lose. You know, I'll say this. I thought last week, and we talked about this, the Dodgers series, they lost 2-3, but I thought it was enjoyable, entertaining.
Yes. Yep.
And they definitely could have won game 1. They basically blew game 3. But since then, they're playing like a bunch of idiots.
They're terrible.
They lose 2 of 3 to the Angels, who, by the way, are okay, but they're not that good. And then last night, Ober gets off to a bad start, but you know what? He came back and pitched well. They can't score runs. And explain this one to me, too. So the Giants, Tom, go with the opener. So they pitch their starter goes 1 inning, which the Twins knew that guy would be gone quickly.
Yeah.
They start Julian and Kirilloff, but the Giants go from an opener who is right-handed to Sean Manaea, who is a southpaw. Julian never gets an at-bat, I don't believe. And here's the one I really don't get. Alex Kirilloff, who is one of the best hitters on the team.
Yes.
And I know he's a left-handed hitter. And I know that, the old school philosophy is you prefer a right-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher. They take Kirilloff out, though. After one at-bat, and he's one of their best hitters. I tweeted about this. I was waiting for somebody to give me a logical, okay, this is the thing. Nobody could. It was unbelievably stupid.
I couldn't argue with one thing you just said. I just don't understand. Our middle relief is horrendous, and our clutch hitting has just completely disappeared.
They are 5 for 43 this season with the bases loaded.
I know. It's like, what?
And 1 walk. So 5 for... You have to work to go 5 for 43. There's something like 0 for 9, I think, with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Last night, I took my daughter to the game last night. A bunch of us were there. And first inning, Giants go up 4-0. And then it's basically just a snooze fest all the way up until the 8th inning when the Twins have, they hit a home run, I think, in the 6th inning. And we get to the 8th. You got a guy on first, a guy on second, and the tying run, or the go-ahead run is at bat.
Right.
There's I think 2 outs at the time. And the guy sitting next to me, Twins fan, was like, "All right, guys, here we go. Come on, listen. All we got to do is get this one. We're gonna win this game. It's in the 8th. Come on, you guys got this." And the guy sitting next to him goes, "They'll blow it." And the guy's like, "Come on, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's not gonna, we got this. We got this." You hear the crack of the bat. 3 seconds later, the players are clearing off the field, and the guy's like, "Son of a bitch, you weren't kidding, man." I was like, "Yeah, obviously."
I don't even know I was at the game.
Yeah.
Driving me nuts. I love that team, and they're pissing me off because they're making really stupid mistakes.
And their division still stinks.
I know.
Like they have every
terrible.
opportunity. I'm not even saying that they have to go on some big winning streak, okay? But win some series. Win
That'd be
2 of
good.
3 against the Angels. Win 2 of 3, and they still can, against the Giants. That's the thing is this is such a blown opportunity to have a huge lead.
You're right.
And I'm with you.
It's very,
maddening.
very frustrating. It's one reason I'm glad I didn't get home till 9 o'clock, so I didn't have to watch the game. Honest
You would
to
have been
God.
swearing a few times, dropping a few F-bombs at that TV for sure last
No
night.
question about that. So I want you to know that you and Phil's names came up. I did an appearance last night. There was three 18-year-olds got scholarships for college, which was very cool. I introduced all of them, got to do a little talking, had just a great time. And your names did come up, everybody on the show, as a matter of fact. The one thing they asked, because I'm going to be on Sushire's show on, is it tomorrow or Thursday? It's one of those days, either tomorrow.
Is that on the books?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I had like 3 people ask. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
going to be on
texting
Joe's
Ricky.
show, and then they want me to be on your show too, so we're going to have to work that out.
Nice.
I mean, if you want to, you don't have to have me on it.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
talk to Phil about it whenever it works for you to be good. But they just thought that I should go on tour with all the people I work with.
Absolutely, yes.
They love the
in
show,
fact,
man.
we can all bitch about the Twins because they deserve it.
Yes, they do deserve it. I got to take a very quick break. Be right back. You got till 40 today?
Yes.
I
Yes,
thought
sir.
so. I wanted to make sure. We'll be right back. More with Judd Zulgad. Skor North. That's all I have to say. Be right back.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombarnardshow.com.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Hi, this is Tom Barnard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own an Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walser Nissan stores here in the Metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walser different than other Nissan stores? And why should you absolutely go there this month? Tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle. First, there's Walser Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walser Nissan. This month, you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder S for only $269 a month. You'll need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So, not just Nissan, but Walser Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Barnard family sent you and ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to walser.com and select the Walser Nissan store nearest you.
$269 per month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year, $5,900 due at signing, VIN PC 261725.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
All right, Judd, you're putting on your clothes from last year. This is the real test of Livia. Have you been keeping the weight off?
That's the most important thing. And yes, I have. And this is a program that is going to help you do exactly that. It's going to help you not only drop the weight, which is fundamentally the most important thing, but then also do what has been so difficult for many of us who have gone up and down the scale, and that is to keep the weight off. And right now, if you join, you are going to get 3 months for free. That's right. So you are going to go into summer with the weight off, and then you are going to, as Brittany just said, keep that weight off. Here is the number, 855, go LIVEA, Livea.com, LIVEA.com. That is your ticket to weight loss.
We are back. Judd Zulgad with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to avoid talking about the Twins because they really suck right now, but I adore my Twins, but my God, I'm getting tired of them getting their ass kicked for no reason.
Especially with the starting pitching being so good, right?
Yeah,
like
I agree.
That's my whole thing. And yes, giving up a 4 spot in the first last night was far from ideal, but the thing about it is Ober pitched really well after that, and 4 runs in the top of the first is not exactly difficult to overcome. That's the thing. Wait, where are the bats?
Right.
Where are the bats?
What is the problem? Do you? I'm a longtime Twins fan. Do you see what the hell this is all? What is the problem here?
Well, so going into the season, I didn't expect them to be an offensive juggernaut.
Right.
But this is inexcusable. The problem is 2 things. One is we're now almost to June. And so for all those who say, well, the bats will come around, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but it's almost 2 full months. Like, that's not 2 weeks. That's not a month. That's 2 months. So that's a problem. And then what you said in the last segment is right, too, which is this. They thought their bullpen was going to be a strength.
Yeah.
And their bullpen has been a weakness. A lot of guys who were pretty damn reliable, Griffin Jacks last year, have not pitched well, and you can torture the stats and say, well, the hard hit rate, he's not getting lucky, blah, 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 but he hasn't pitched well. And so I think the bigger surprise in some ways, Tom, is the bullpen, because I think that there was a assumption coming out of spring training that was going to be a strength. And with the starting pitching being this good too, what frustrates me is they're allowing starters to go deep into games. So the bullpen's not exactly being taxed now. A year ago, it was always right. It was always, well, we're asking too much of the bullpen because the starters don't go long.
Right.
I think Twins fans, to use your word, being pissed off is a very, very reasonable and fair thing. And you're still in first place.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. We're still in first place, but like I said last night, I took a gander at one of the TVs in the at Greenhaven, which is where this event took place up there at Anoka. Beautiful golf course, great people. I mean, I had such a lovely night. It was unbelievable. Can't even tell you what a joey it was.
Perfect. That's perfect. You didn't have to put up with this baseball team, and you actually replaced it with something you had fun at.
I did indeed. I did glance at the TV once, just enough to make sure that I didn't want to watch the end of the game. So that was good. It's like, my God, it's just painful for me because there's no excuse for this to be going on. None.
No. And again, ideally, I think your lead should be right now, if you were playing as well as you probably should be, it'd be 7 or 8 games, wouldn't it?
No question about it. We should be 8 games up. There's no question about that.
This is how Cleveland comes around in, like, I don't know, late July, August, right? And now you didn't win these games that you should have won, and now they start, potentially, theoretically, they start to play well. And in September, you're like, what happened? How did the Twins lose the lead? Well, you didn't win games that you should have in April and May especially.
And they didn't learn anything from last year when that happened as well. We got to, what was that, about August before he tanked?
Mm-hmm.
It was August sometime, right?
It was.
And it's going to happen again if we don't do something.
How much faith do you have in Rocco and this team as far as the management goes?
I gotta go along with your thinking on this one. I'm just assuming what you're thinking, but that's 2 years in a row your team is tanked when it shouldn't have. Rocco, you got to do something about this. Otherwise, he's going to be the one to end up losing his job.
We have a email that's in that same vein.
From Rocco?
From Chad.
Just say, Tom, F you. Is that what it says?
It sounds like, it's so funny. I was debating not reading it out loud because it's definitely a little aggressive. And I go, you know what? It actually matches our tone.
Okay.
This is from Chad. Rocco is an absolute joke. Worst manager in Twins history. Fire that bastard.
Well, pardon me. Well, now.
I was like just going to write him back, and I was like, you know what? This feels like it fits.
Chad, we love you, man.
We love
That's
you,
all-
Chad. Don't
that's
go
all I
change
have
it.
to say.
Fire
Chad
that.
coming in hot.
Yeah,
Oh,
love
it's
you,
true,
Chad.
though. It's just there's no excuse for this to be happening.
No,
we
no.
got to figure this out.
Although I'm going to defend Rocco a little bit and say, I think the worst managers in Twins history list probably would begin more along the lines of like Johnny Gorel, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Johnny Gorel. There was a time. I don't know. It just, I get so excited because it looks like they're going to be doing pretty well, and then they start off pretty well, and I'm like, oh, they're going to reel me in again, aren't they?
They need Tom Barnard in the
yes.
box seats near the dugout, recreating the passion he brought to games at the Met Stadium in Metrodome.
Those were the days, baby.
We need Max Kepler threatening to kill you, but then hitting a home run because you've inspired him.
Yes, Queen. Let's do it.
Oh, that's happened
And we
more
need
than
to
once.
get that on video so that we can then have it go viral, and you can be credited for the Twins' turnaround.
You know how great that would have been if they had gotten Freddie Lynn throwing a bat at me on camera? You know how great that would have been? God, I'd have that showing at my house on just a constant loop.
Or just like frame by frame in a picture frame. Bat.
And it was all because he was wearing patent leather baseball shoes. And I said, nice shoes, Dorothy.
Oh!
He did not like that at all.
He should have clicked his heels and gone
He
home.
should have, exactly.
That's pretty damn good. I like that line.
Well, they were ruby red slippers. I mean, it was Dorothy. It was all the way.
I love that.
God, Freddie Lynn. Jesus. Hell of a player.
Great player.
Okay, so how do we turn this around? Who can sit down with Rocco and go, Rocco, we're doing this, this, and this. How do we turn this around?
Well, part of the problem is I think that Falvey does exactly that. Like I've always thought that, unlike the old days with a guy like Mock, right, or something, or TK.
Yeah. Yep.
I've always thought that the problem now is we blame Rocco, we blame the manager, but lots of times now it's the entire like infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
Like going through
Yeah.
spreadsheets at 2:00 in the afternoon. I mean, Baldelli said last year, and this thinking has changed for the better, but Baldelli said last year, essentially, he either slipped up and or tried to exonerate himself by saying, we make a lot of these like pitching decisions at 2:00. So it's not just me.
Yeah.
It's Falvey and Levine, and it's the whole system. But they have to, the first thing I think, they have to shore up the bullpen to a certain degree.
No doubt about it. That bullpen has to be changed. I don't know what the hell happened to Jax. He was great last year. This year, he's terrible.
Relievers are some of the most like arbitrary. Like they'll have great years and then they'll have terrible years. But
Yep.
my thing is,
Yep.
you see, the baseball thing is, well, it's a long season, Tom. So you should have patience while Griffin Jax works through his struggles because
Yes.
he's going to be okay.
Yes.
But you know what? Some years you just have crappy years.
Yeah, you do.
You know?
I mean, look at Brittany's career.
Yeah. Decades. Sometimes you have bad decades.
Bad decade. It's unbelievable.
She's on the right team, though. You see?
There you go.
Oh.
She's on the right team. The Bernard
Oh.
team. You see? That's her
Oh.
genius.
Yeah. I've been death gripping to those coattails for decades.
I'm going to call your mother and say that your name and the word genius came up in the same sentence.
Beverly.
Beverly will take it.
Beverly would be, yes, she is my only fan at this point. She is my
only
biggest
one.
and only fan. Yeah.
That's not true. People last night were saying nice things about you.
How dare they?
I said, we talking about the same Brittany? And they said, yes, I
Tom's
think
like,
we
you
are."
people are great, but you're idiots if you think that.
I mean, what is
Terrible
wrong?
taste.
What's wrong with you people? We'll get through it. The Twins have been driving me nuts since I was 9 years old.
Yeah, they sure do give you a lot of emotions.
They do.
But I'm here for it. I like seeing you revved up, and you and Chad are going to have to both get box seats. I think that's the conclusion. And
Yeah,
we'll-
Chad and I'll get a box seat. That'll be good.
Where Tom Barnard Show will not be insuring either of you guys, so
Good idea.
good idea.
Good plan.
But yeah, we got to go to a game.
Look, when I was 9 years old, we got a professional football team.
Was that so exciting when it happened?
Unbelievable.
I mean, a 9-year-old boy to see that happen in your town. I mean, that must have been so exciting.
Now, I should mention a few years before that, we lost the Minneapolis Lakers, so I wasn't wild about that. Although I was too young to be a basketball fan back then. So I remember them, but I was not a fan. And we didn't have a hockey team back then, so,
Did they come out right away and say, like, it's going to be the Vikings, or was it this whole reveal of what the name was going to be? Because I feel like that would have been exciting as well.
That part was really, really cool. There are all of those things that went on. Like before the Minnesota Twins came here from Washington, they were going to come here from New York. The Giants were coming here, but then decided at the last minute to go to San Francisco instead. So then we went after the Washington team. What's so great about that is that place over there where the Cooper Theater was is still to this day called Candlestick Park, because that was going to be the name of the base, which it is now in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that piece of property is still called Candlestick Park, because that's where the stadium was going to be.
And, okay, now you know that I have peripheral knowledge of of sports.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the name of the team, the Twins, before they got here? Because there's no way it was the
Washington,
Twins.
what is it, National? What was it?
Senators.
Senators, Washington Senators. There you go.
They were the Senators.
That's right.
And thank God we had the mindset, like, to change the names.
Yeah, you don't want Senators in Minnesota.
No, but people do. They try to make it fit, and it always feels so weird. I
The
love
Lakers, Brittany.
The Lakers doesn't fit L.A. at all.
At all. Like, gross. Make it your
The
own.
Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
They were the perfectly named New Orleans Jazz, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
a perfect name.
Yeah.
And when they moved in, Tom, 79 or something like that, they remained to be the Jazz in Utah. What is there about jazz that fits in Utah?
Not too much.
I wonder, when there's people like me who, in other states, when they hear the Twins, if they don't know what about the Twin Cities, they just know.
No, I think everybody knows that.
You think so? Because I was
think
going to
so,
say,
yeah.
what if there's people walking around in California going, man, they sure love, dual children coming out of women, like twins.
Yeah, there you go. I guess. But I mean,
Never
you got
thought of it that way, Brittany.
right. Shouldn't it be the Utah Mormons?
The Utah polygamists. It didn't
Polygamists,
fit on the,
that'd be
didn't-
good.
Didn't fit on the jerseys, so yeah.
That'd be
What's
good
the
though.
logo, Rudy?
Oh, I think it's just the bathroom when it says like a male, female. I think it's just one male, like a silhouette of a male, and then on either side 2 women.
I see. So it's
Yeah.
like when you drive behind one of those vans that has the little family of stick people.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stick people.
Yeah.
Okay. Stick people. Oh, you got to get going, don't you?
Yes, I do. But this has been a great end. I love this. The polygamist. That's actually that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think it
I
is.
don't know if stick people works, but I do. I like where you're coming from, and it fits a lot more than jazz ever did.
That's true.
Okay, so I'm gonna still give Rocco a chance, but Rocco's got to start doing something, or he is gonna lose his job at the end of the year. Don't you think?
Are you and Chad are in the same
Oh,
boat?
2 years in a row, you dropped the ball. They haven't dropped out of first place yet, but if they stay on this road, they're going to be out of first place in the next 2 weeks.
We just got news this morning that at some point, months ago or a year ago or so, Tom, that Rocco actually got a contract extension, and he is signed through at least 2025.
Through 25.
Yes.
That's 2 years. Look, I don't mind the guy. I think he's a good speaker. TK, I love TK to this day, but my God, was he a terrible speaker. He was terrible at that.
Nobody, though, speaking of that, what a great baseball mind, though. And you know what? When TK was on at the time, Fox Sports North, he did, a small amount, I don't know, 5 years back or so, of games with Bramer. Yes, he mumbles and stuff.
Yeah.
But nobody taught you more. And he called Dick Richard, which I absolutely adored. I thought that was the greatest ever.
Richard.
Well, Richard, there's, and you could tell at first Dick's like, I don't like this, but then it's TK. You can't tell him not to do it.
One thing I got to tell you, Tony did the best TK impression of anybody I've ever seen in my life. I was talking to the players, and they told me. God, it was a great impression. It was perfect. There's no doubt about it. All right,
it.
Pally, we will talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks a lot. Judd Zulgad, ladies and gentlemen. Skor North. This is hopefully a good story because I don't know her. I've met her a couple of times. As a matter of fact, don't really know Marnie Gellner. You guys know Marnie Gellner at all?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
That's about where I would be too, a little bit. Marnie Gellner on overcoming breast cancer and her childhood TV fantasy. I do like her work a lot, and she had breast cancer, but she has recovered now, 100%, correct?
It seems like, that's the last I read that she had in remission or whatever it's technically called.
Michael Rand is joined by Bally Sports North host and play-by-play voice Marnie Gellner for a wide-ranging interview. Gellner, who revealed earlier this year that she had breast cancer but is now cancer-free, great news, talked about the struggle of dealing with that diagnosis and the good that she tried to create from it in her own life for others, too. She also talked about her childhood dream of being a star on Saturday Night Live. She wanted to be up there in North Dakota. She wanted to be on Saturday Night Live.
Big dreams.
Her best memories of 20 years in the Twin Cities. So, all the best to Marnie. I don't really know Marnie Gellner. Met her a couple of times, but great story.
Yeah,
breast cancer.
I've only heard great things about her from people that have worked with her, which is, that's pretty cool.
Me too. I'm glad to see that, but that's got to be. And she's not very old. How old is Marnie Gellner? I don't even know.
I think she's like late 30s, early 40s.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
She's 49 years old.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She was on TV talking about her 50th birthday next year.
What?
I had no idea.
I had no idea. I thought she was. I thought she was younger than me.
I agree with you. I thought she was literally in her 30s. Mm-hmm. She looks youthful.
Yeah, we were at Joe Sensor's one night, about 15 of us sitting around a table, and she was on TV, and somebody was like, we started discussing Marnie Gellner and women in sports, and somebody was like, I don't care what you guys say. You guys can take, all the gals from ESPN. They don't hold a candle to Marnie Gellner. Marnie Gellner is not only smart, but she is one of the most beautiful women you will ever find on TV. And then I said, by the way, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Marnie Gellner's sitting right behind us.
Oh, my God.
And her, I don't know, must have been her husband and like 6 of her friends were out celebrating. I don't know if it was her birthday or somebody's birthday, but there was a big balloon that said happy birthday on it. And meanwhile, now we start going in our mind, we're like, did we say anything?
I know,
you
good thing you were saying positive things. There's nothing worse when you're like, she's all right, but.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So.
I don't know. Like I'm very, very happy that, and again, I don't really even know her. I've spoken to her a couple of times, but that's always great news, man. That is so sad, people that young going through that situation.
Absolutely. And they say if you can try to get your insurance to do 2 a year.
Oh, really? 2 a year?
They technically say 1 a year, but if you can get 2 a year, and then 3D imaging, or there's a terminology you have to drop to get the one that really finds stuff. And insurance, they'll drag their feet about it, but if you can get the doctors to say, well, you've got risk factors and stuff like that, because by the time you can feel a lump,
oh, sure,
it's not, you're not in that great of a place. Right. I mean, of course, if you feel one, go in, but definitely they're finding that if you go get mammograms, they can find it way early, and it's technology's getting better and better. So
your mammogram, boy.
Mammogram. I knew you were gonna say something like that.
I love that so much. Yo, mammy boy. I used to hear that all the time when I was insult someone, joke around, and go, yo, mammy boy. Oh, really?
Right.
Is it my mammy?
Your mammy.
I go home and call Toots, hey, mammy, how you doing?
Did you take that stuff personal at all when anyone say your mom? Because that was my growing up. That was your.
Never did that in my neighborhood. You do not mess with mothers.
But it's so funny because when I hear your mom or your mom jokes, I don't even think of my mom because it's so.
No, I could see
was
that,
so
yeah.
constant.
Yeah.
It's like you'd say, oh, your mom, and I would never think Beverly. It would be like such a generic mom.
Do you know about playing the dozens? You know what that is?
Yes.
Okay, now, when they used to play the dozens when I was a kid, they would always say, man, I don't mind playing the dozens, but no moms.
No mom jokes.
They would always say no moms if you're playing the dozens. Because people took that very seriously if you picked on their mother. They did not like that at all. Because Dad wasn't around, I guess.
You know, what's worse, is telling somebody your triggers.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that.
No, so it's so funny.
No.
You have to be like, oh, anything's on the table. Because the moment you tell them that, when things really get heated, they're going to use that against you later. So it's like I'd be like, oh yeah, nothing. You can call me anything. You know, don't make fun of. You know, I love when you talk about my unibrow or something like that because you know the moment.
Do you know the poem?
Mm-mm.
Really?
No, what poem?
You want to play to dozens.
Oh yeah, I've heard. Okay, yeah, I've heard this from you, but give it to us.
I love it. You want to play to dozens? Well, the dozens is a game, but the way I do your mother's a goddamn shame. Yeah, you don't want to be saying that to people either.
No.
Yeah, let's not talk about doing somebody's mother,
No.
shall we? I know, I like that.
I do too.
8 tips for parents and teens on social media use. We were just talking about this earlier. It just happens to be an article about it in the Star Tribune, which I didn't even know about, actually. Dr. Vivek Murthy, the U.S. Surgeon General, is calling for immediate action by tech companies and lawmakers to protect kids and adolescents' mental health on social media. See, now, it is about time that they stepped up and did this.
Yeah.
Kids are just getting poisoned. Their brains are getting poisoned. But after years of middling and insufficient action by both social media platforms and policymakers, parents and young people still bear most of the burden in navigating the fast-changing, often harmful world of secretive algorithms, addictive apps, and extreme and inappropriate content found on platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. So what can parents and young people do now? The Surgeon General has some tips for young people. Reach out for help if you or someone you know is being negatively affected by social media. I stay away from it, so I don't think I know anybody. Is anybody you know being affected by social media right now?
I think everybody is.
So it's that bad, huh?
Yeah.
I think if you go on social media thinking that that is your social interaction,
Oh.
that's not going to be
Yeah.
good. I think that if you go on social media thinking that that's other people living their actual lives, that's not going to be good for you. I think it can be very harmful also. It's a very lonely world when you realize you look down and go, I've just been scrolling for an hour.
Mhm.
And you've got a teen. Like, what are you doing? What are the trends that you're seeing?
I have a teen, but please remember, I'm a checked out parent.
Yeah, I don't pay attention.
I don't pay attention to any
Really
of that.
nice.
Luckily, my daughter sees me because I am so heavily involved with social media
Yeah.
that my daughter sees me, and obviously, the way to rebel is do a 180 from whatever your parents do.
Yeah.
So my daughter has no interest in social media. She has an Instagram. She has a Snapchat. I do check up on because we're connected on Instagram, but every now and again I will check up on the Snapchat just to make sure everything is fine. Because last year she started hanging out with a few boys, and I was
How
like,
old is she?
She's she'll turn 15
Oh,
next.
there you go.
Yeah, in like 3 weeks.
She's a Gemini too.
Oh, I had no idea.
I'm telling you.
But she is. When she started hanging out with boys, I was like, let me see what's up with the Snapchat.
Yeah.
You know, just want to make sure everything's kosher. And then I saw what boys were sending to my daughter, and I'm like, oh, these kids are morons.
I know, it's just like up close bad angles of their faces.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, does she have Be Real? Is that something she's into?
I don't know what that is.
So Be Real is an app that's a social media app that will go off once a day, and you don't know when it's going to go off, and you have about, I don't know, let's say 2 minutes to post something, and it takes a picture from your front and back camera immediately, like once you decide to say, I'm going to get involved in today's Be Real. So let's say if it went off right now, I would take a picture of me and Rudy. Like, that's what it would show. It doesn't let you pick the situation. It doesn't let you edit the picture. And it kind of just shows what everyone's doing right at that moment.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Newer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I would say a couple years old. Like when I was in Concordia, every Be Real was huge. I would say now it's like a teen thing, the Be Real. When they go off, everybody's like, Be Real went off, and they'll take their little Be Reals.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about at this point.
I know.
Why does anyone go on TikTok? I don't understand that.
Well, TikTok, it used to be, I would say out of all the social media, it was such a happy place.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found myself enjoying it. But I have been now, I'd say the past like couple months, finding myself going, I need to set limits on that because it's definitely, it's tricky. It's a sneaky one where all of a sudden you go, oh my God, I went to lay down 2 hours ago to go to bed, and here I am just going from video to video to video, and you don't find your happiness going up all that much.
You know they're stealing your information.
Oh, I know.
Why do you allow that?
Oh, I mean, I don't mind. I don't think it's that crazy. All of them do it. All the social medias do it.
Yeah, but China's a big problem.
And so I don't think by any means to me, my information that I'm giving them, the things that I'm giving them, is all that valuable. Of the fact that they know that I love Vanderpump Rules, and
Yeah, but they can get all of your information from your account.
I mean,
That's the problem.
I think all the social medias, it's not a great business model
Right,
for the people.
right.
I mean, for us users. I mean, that's why they call them users, right? That's the same as
Yeah,
drugs.
yep.
It's drugs and social medias. It's the user.
Right.
I don't like. I especially after having go-go, I got to get better, and I really am working on it, is putting my phone away and putting it down.
I wish
and
everybody would.
I just don't like me on it. I don't think I'm a more fun person. I don't find myself enjoying life more because I was on TikTok for an hour.
And you be bringing up, oh, she's a Gemini too. Every time somebody does that, Steve Martin pops into my head.
What was it?
He walks out on the Tonight Show and he starts talking about the astrological signs. He goes, let's talk a little bit about these astrological signs. Let's see. I'm a feces. Pisces, feces.
Oh, totally.
God, he's funny.
The only one I know is Gemini because I am a Gemini, and
there
so when
you
I
go.
hear other people are, but all the other ones, I have no idea. I don't even know what my husband is,
No.
so I don't take it all that seriously.
When's his birthday?
November 4th.
So he's a feces. No, he's not. He's a Scorpio.
I think you're right.
Yes, he is, because I'm a Scorpio.
Oh,
That's the only reason I know
yeah, because you guys are right next to each other.
that. Right. So Scorpio's supposed to be a stinger, or what the hell's that all about?
I feel like the Scorpio makes sense for both of you.
Oh, in a very positive way, it sounds
Of
like.
course,
Of
and I will
course
not
it is.
elaborate.
Let's see, I'm a feces. I still loved it when he
That's
did that.
so good.
And he was had this very serious look on his face.
If I'm a feces and you're a Virgo, do we get along?
Yeah,
That's the real
that's
question.
exactly it right there. We have to take a break, be right back, and wrap things up. We're right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy sunset from the water, entertain the kids, and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lakes in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud, and hundreds of Benningtons in stock across all locations. The Power Lodge is your destination before you hit the lakes this summer and cruise at sunset. Fun begins at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Get some throttle therapy on land and water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them Tommy sent you.
Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. If you've been hurt in a car collision, it's traumatic enough. You don't need to waste time and energy on the legal stuff. Think of us as a partner who will guide you through the process. First off, you need to recover, but part of that is getting the compensation you deserve. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we'll work hard so you can get the rest you need during the trying months after a personal injury. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we understand how important it is to make our clients comfortable, so we build each client relationship on the pillars of honesty and transparency. Don't miss out on what's rightfully yours. We'll go to bat for you. For your free case consultation, please visit minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That's minnesotapersonalinjury.com. I'm Mike Bryan, and I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to Bradshaw and Bryant.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side. justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Do you ever Google yourself? Are you happy with what you find? Or is it cringy? Are you a business owner or on your company's marketing team? How do you feel when you Google your own place? What do you see? A non-updated social media page you don't even remember making? Ads for your competitors? An old school website with outdated information? Hubbard Interactive can help. They can do it all for your business. They're a Google Premier partner, so they can use search engine optimization to get your click results higher. They can build a 21st century website for you that communicates all the right things, all the best ways. They've got a photo and video department to make your business look sharp, plus social media, influencer marketing, podcasting, and more. All the things that will make you a lot happier next time you Google yourself. Here's a Google search that you'll find rewarding. Hubbard Interactive. You can see all the marketing tools they've used on hundreds of successful businesses, including an extensive gallery of the great work they could help your venture with. HubbardInteractive.com. Building campaigns that connect.
I still got to burn her for saying entirety.
Entirety.
It's entirety.
Entirety.
You don't say riddy.
Say it again. Say the right, correct way.
Entirety.
Entirety.
Not entirety.
I can't tell a difference.
Pronounce it right, goddamn.
There's another one I have trouble. Specific. I have a really hard time. I have to stop and say
specific.
Specific.
Because you say Pacific.
I want to say Pacific.
That's what everybody does. They say, yeah, it's very Pacific.
So that's a hard one for me.
That is for a lot of people. You're not the only one. There are certain words. I suppose I get a problem with some words, but I can't think of what they are.
I've noticed so many people saying associated.
Associated instead of associated.
Instead of associated.
It's associated.
Associated. I would say associated.
Yeah.
And it's associated.
I'll never say that.
Yeah.
I'll never say that.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. There's somebody almost everybody adds a vowel to one word. What the hell is it? And it doesn't belong there.
Well, Nordstrom, that's a big one that people say Nordstrom's.
Nordstrom's?
It's supposed to be Nordstrom.
Yeah.
And
the
then
name of the store.
Another one people say, I couldn't care less. Or they say, I could care less.
Yeah, I could care less, right.
And you're like, okay, so you care a lot?
So you care a lot.
It's supposed to be, I couldn't care less. But they
There's a
always
lot
say,
of that.
I could care less. Okay.
That's true, they do.
You're caring a lot there?
I know what it is. The word, it drives me crazy because
What?
everybody does it. You know, my child's being a bit mischievous.
Mischievous.
It's mischievous. It's not mischievous.
I would definitely say mischievous.
Everybody says mischievous.
So now when do we accept that that's regional?
Well, there's no I at the end there, so I don't know why they would want to do that. It's mischievous. VOUS.
Mischievous.
See?
I just now going to avoid
There's a
word
lot of that
completely.
stuff, though. There are
I
a
know.
lot of words like that that people
Like-
constantly mispronounce.
I don't want to have to start this fight with you again.
Uh-oh, here we go.
But almond. I'll never say it almond.
What is almond?
I will nope, no one ever
So
is
you're going to fight with Merriam-Webster over this one, huh?
I feel like that bitch ain't that strong. I feel like I could take her
Well,
down.
that's nice. That's real. That bitch Merriam-Webster is all I have to say.
One right hook. She's out.
I heard you bought the Sears building over in St. Paul. Is that true?
Yeah, it's an investment that me and Justin decided to make.
Glad to hear. $7 million. Paid for an empty building that looks like it's going to fall over any minute.
That was the best DMV you could go to.
Over in St. Paul. Where? Oh, at Sears?
Yes, it
Oh,
had
I
a
didn't know
DMV
that.
upstairs and nobody knew about it, and it was awesome.
You mean to get your license and stuff?
Yup.
I never knew that. I
Yup.
had no idea that was a
Great parking,
Really?
and nobody was ever there.
I don't understand to this day. So Sears was always in towers, like the big tower down on Lake Street is Lake and just off of Chicago, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mother worked at that store, and we would go visit her once in a while over there. And I never understood, so you want me to come and shop at your store, but I don't get a cart? So I have to carry all this crap with me the entire time at your store?
They wouldn't do carts.
No, because you had to take an elevator from one floor to the next or walk the staircase. And they didn't want carts on the elevator, obviously.
Yeah.
But then when they went into malls, they still didn't do carts, which I didn't understand that either.
Yeah, that is wild.
You got to haul all that crap around every place you go.
Do
That'd be
they
a
have
pain in the ass?
Do they have carts in those? I mean, they don't have carts at like Nordstrom or Dayton.
I don't think so. No, I don't think any of them did.
But I wonder
maybe after a while they did.
like TJ Maxx, you can, I think, have a cart in Marshalls. So I think it's really weird. Maybe they want to seem upscale, and that's why they don't have a cart.
Yeah, but I don't want to carry that crap around me everywhere I move in your store. Get your head out of your ass.
Oh, Diane's got a good one.
Okay.
Unthaw.
Oh, unthaw, yes.
Sure.
Instead of thaw, they say unthaw. That's absolute. I think that's a Minnesota thing, isn't it? Pretty much.
Could be, yeah.
And then I like this term, and I found out when I was in the military, it was a very much so Minnesota thing. Well, I'm really overtired.
Overtired?
Yeah, they
You're
don't.
just tired or overtired?
Yeah, like and they go, what do you mean overtired? Like you're
Either
sick
tired
of
or
being
you're not.
tired? And I go, no, like I'm so tired, I'm overtired. And they go, oh, that's not a thing that's said. If you say it, you'll have people turn their heads and go, what?
I've gotten overtired.
I'm so overtired.
I like that. That works for me.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do for another show. Moved along very smoothly, but I wanted to thank everybody again last night out there at Greenhaven and Anoka. I had such a beautiful night. You were so kind to us. Lots and lots of listeners, although a bunch of them promised to call in and they didn't.
We got
pills.
We got some messages here and there.
No, I wanted them to call in so I could go, I have never liked.
You can say it to their faces. Maybe
Yes.
next time. Maybe we'll have them in.
They were so incredibly nice last night. So thank you to everybody.
Awesome. Thanks for doing that, Tom. I bet that was awesome.
It was a great time. It was just, and like I said, a lot of people, instead of going, hey, are you still on the radio? They went, yeah, I've been listening to the podcast every day.
Dang.
So it was very, very nice.
Get the app.
Oh my God, I don't want to talk after that.
Wow.
Say that again and we'll just hang
It's
up.
my birthday. I can say whatever I want.
It's my birthday.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.